Ladies and Habibis, we are going to introduction to you rising star of South Asia. He is very well educated. He knows Islam and Christianity very well. He done what they said he can't. He is Doctor.
Alhamdulillah.
Wait a minute, what are you doing, Zakir? You come out, it's not you. Habibi, take him out. Sorry, there was some problem. He's Adam Thicker.
Hello everyone. This is your favorite Murtid. Salamul Masih. Peace of Christ be with each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having fun. And hello. Welcome back. Your favorite Murtid is live once again. This is the second English stream. As I promised, I will do an English stream on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will do another stream around 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Thursday. Today is Thursday, and here we are. Today is a good day to show some things to you about this very strange guy, Sabeel Ahmed. Sabeel Ahmed is, I don't know how people could even relate to him in any way or form. So, I don't know, like, quite frankly, I looked at some of his content and I was amazed because somebody sent me one video where he's trying to convert some teenagers and he's doing some kind of a dawa to the teenagers and he somehow converted some teenagers. So, we cannot talk about that to begin with, but then we will go into another favorite murtad of ours. He's already with us and I'm going to invite him up on the stage. But let me tell you some history before I invite him because it's very important what I'm going to tell you right now. When you look at the face of this guy, you'll be like, man, this guy has such a white beard. Yeah, he is old. Yeah, I know. I know he's old. But, he is the guy who made me come into YouTube videos. You know what? If he would not have pushed me to come to in front of the world and show the reality of Islam, I might not have done that. Like the very first time that I ever spoke on a public platform was his Facebook channel, ever in the history. He's not very well known because he makes people to become well known. That's the reality. So let me invite him first and then we will move forward. I will humbly invite our brother, ex-Muslim from a so-called country named Palestine. So-called. Let us welcome Hussein Mashni. Brother Hussein, welcome.
Hello, welcome. It's good to be here, man.
God bless you and peace of Christ be with you, man. How are you doing?
Doing real good. Yes, just enjoying. I was listening to what you were talking about. That guy Sabeel Allah or Sabeel.
Sabeel Ahmed.
You know what that? That word Sabeel is a very interesting word in the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
Because quite often Muslims will say they'll say, how can you say Jesus is the Son of God? And and this says God can't have a son and all this stuff. But then in the Quran there's this 8 times it talks about Ibn Sabil, the,
Yep.
the son of the road. And so it's like, it's not saying that the son of the road is a avenue or a just a freeway or something. It's a person who has the character and the nature of someone who lives on the street, a traveler. And so that argument, I've used many times talking to Muslims. And when we say son of God, we're not talking about a literal sexual encounter between God and Mary, which is what they think, we think. And so anyways, the word Sabeel is a very useful word. So.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, brother. And Ibn Sabil is another argument that I ran maybe long time ago in my English channel as well, talking to a person. Um, and that's the quite frankly, if you look at it, it would be the son of the straight path, because it is
Yes.
Sabil is taken as the straight path. If you say fi Sabil Allah, in the way
Yes.
of Allah, right? So,
Yes.
and if you see in multiple surah, an Sabilullah, in the way of Allah, and fi Sabilillah, and so on and so forth. So yes, you're right, and we could do a long discussion on that. But
Mhm.
today it will be mostly about you.
Okay, I like that. It's a very interesting topic. Oh, I think so. No, just
Yeah, it is. 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 But before we go to you,
kidding.
because I want to show people the contrast that when a Muslim leaves Islam, what does he tells you, versus when a non-Muslim accepts Islam, what does he tells you.
Mhm.
So Sabeel Ahmed is working with Dawa Gangist to convert the teenagers into Islam. And one of his recent video, which came out maybe 3 days ago or something like that, he just converted another teenager. And let's see why this teenager accepted Islam to begin with. And then we can move forward on why you left Islam. And I
Okay.
will show you certain other proofs as well. But let's see why this kid accepted Islam. So this is the video of his. And this video actually has a title, Why Are So Many Young Americans Converting to Islam? I will actually show you the video where majority of the Muslim scholars are saying why most of the American Muslims are leaving Islam. But he titled it as an opposite direction, because deception is the core of this theology. Deception is literally the core of this theology. You can't run away from it. They will always deceive. But anyhow, Hussein, just listen. Why did this kid, some teenager, accepted Islam from the devil's own mouth? Let's watch and we will answer. By the way, before I play this, let me say something for the YouTube policy. And it says, due to the social nature of the site, this channel may make use of the copyrighted material, the use of which has not always been specifically authorized by the copyright owner. Its application constitutes as a fair use of any such copyrighted material as provided for in the section of 107 of the US copyrighted law. In accordance with the Title 17 USC Section 107, the material on this channel is offered publicly and without profit to the user of the internet for comment and non-profit educational informational purposes. The following work is intended to be shared, is free and only for educational purposes. With that being said, let's play this.
Into Islam and you converted today, what was the spark that kind of attracted you to Islam? What would you say?
How put together it is. I would say it's kind of in a scramble of puzzles. This is the put together part. This is what makes sense. This is what I believe in. This is factual.
So
Wow. So this whole video, which is 6.5 minutes long, this is the only sentence that this kid spoke. How factual it is, how the missing pieces of puzzles fit together. That's it. Brother Hussein, I, I don't know. I've read Quran cover to cover so many times that I can't even remember how many times. I can't even count.
Yes.
I have read multiple ahadith books and I cannot claim I read all the hadith book cover to cover, so I won't say that. I don't lie. And then I have read the tafsir of at least 4 scholars cover to cover. Let me just say that because that I can say.
Wow.
But never ever any single scholar in the history of Islam who are writing the tafsir, even knowing the hadith cover to cover, can ever say that Islam puts every single missing piece of puzzle completely. Because in every verse, these scholars will give you 10, 5, 8, 6, or 4 different opinions and they will contradict each other. How can this kid say that?
Well, it's possible that he's saying it because the Quran says it. You know, the Quran says that it is perfectly clear, perfectly explained, and contains all the information that you need. It says that about itself. You know, before it says that no, half of it is clear and half of it's not clear. You
No, it
know,
says some of it is clear and some of it is not clear. It doesn't
yeah,
use the word half.
yes, yes. But you know, just listening to him, you know what I'm thinking when I look at this kid, it's an American kid. There's this cursed sentence in the United States, and I've heard it so many times from parents, is they don't want to take their kids to church. Because they don't want to force their kids to go to church, because they want their kids to make their own decision. This is a very common thing that parents say in America. Well, just want to tell parents that there's people out there that are going to help your kids make a decision. Okay. And you won't, but there's people out there who want to help your kids make a decision. And it looks like if he thinks that Islam is facts, I think that's a good indication that he doesn't know what's in the Bible and he doesn't know the reality of what is in Islam. So,
You are right on the spot because he does not know what's in the Quran. Because check this out. Check the manipulation of Sabeel again. That answers your.
Everything when you read the Quran, right? Some parts of the Quran.
Mhm.
So you're saying that all the parts.
You read the Quran? Some parts of the Quran. You see, Hussein, this kid has never read the Quran. Nobody told him the full Quran. He just read some parts of the Quran. You were right. Like without knowing what is in this video, you were right on spot because this kid only read some part of the Quran, which Sabeel and people like Sabeel told him about the Quran without giving him the proper explanation. And this kid accepted it just like any other kid would do
mhm.
in the West, thinking that whatever is being told by this scholar is actually correct, is actually right, and these people were not lying to him, but he has no idea that these people work on lies. They stand on lies, they work with the lies, and like you said before as well, that if the parents will not help their kids to know their belief system, then somebody else will take them, pick them up like a hawk and take them to their belief system because their belief system works on numbers.
Yeah,
Their belief system works on numbers and they just want numbers.
yeah.
It's a numbers game for them. And
And
that's the reality of it. And you were right on spot.
yeah.
You
Well,
were you were like, you know, right on spot.
yeah. Well, Satan is, ultimately it's Satan who's giving them, I mean, the first book of First John, he says, we know that the Antichrist is coming, and even now many antichrists have come. And who is the Antichrist but he who denies the Father and the Son? And so this is 2,000 years ago, John was saying this. Jesus had just been here. He died, rose again, ascended to heaven, and that Antichrist spirit was there then. How much more is it here now with the media, with the internet, with the deception? And yeah, it's very sad to see this kid. And he's so young. He looks so young that it worries me, because you know what they do is they fill their heads with all these beautiful things about Islam. They fill their heads with all this indoctrination and brainwashing, and he's so young, and that it does worry. But he reminds me of that. There was a guy that was on TikTok like a year and a half ago or something like that. And he was like this, he said, he came on and he was talking about Islam and how he loved Islam and Islam was so great and Islam was so wonderful, and an American kid. But then all of a sudden he started reading, he started looking into it. And then he did a video where he says, you know what? I'm not a Muslim anymore, and don't try to get me to go back, because he found out the truth, which is usually what happens with these guys, is that within a year or two, they leave Islam. But he's so young that it worries me. He looks like a teenager that is more vulnerable.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And like you said, and like I said always, you're always right. And I want to show you something. And Mr. Sabeel Ahmed, please watch and listen and learn. There you go. Let's play.
They are leaving by the masses. A lot of them, guys.
Researchers show that over 100,000 Muslims leave Islam every single year.
I was born Muslim, but you opened my eyes, David.
24% of Muslim youth are leaving Islam.
Ex-Muslim here, David and CP helped me a lot to leave my religion. Years ago, I was talking bad about Christianity and made fun of Jesus. Now I have debates with my friends because of defending Christianity and exposing Islam. David Wood and Christian Prince opened my eyes. Thanks to David, I became an ex-Muslim 1 year ago. I grew up in doubts and eventually left Islam because of you, sir. Thank you. You're very welcome.
Our youth are full of doubts and nobody's answering their questions.
I'm a Christian and I have 3 friends who left Islam because I showed them your videos and AP's videos. Thank you very much.
Your child is going to become an apostate. Shut up!
I know many ex-Muslims in my country, Bangladesh. Some of them are believers in Christ and they openly declare it. Some of them are hidden believers in Christ and don't expose it in front of the Muslims about losing faith in Islam and new faith in Christ. Some are apostate and agnostic now. There are some churches in my country that are conducted by ex-Muslims.
Wow.
Awesome. Now, this is a very important message. So when a non-Muslim, Christian, agnostic, atheist, Hindu, whatever, accepts Islam, they promote him like popcorns.
Yes.
Like popcorns being promoted to the kids in a movie theater. When you go to a movie theater, the popcorn is the most expensive item there. Most expensive.
Yes.
Like the popcorn that you can buy for $1 outside the movie theater, you go inside the movie theater, the same popcorn you'll buy for $20.
Yes.
Right? Or $25 or $30. I don't know, something like that. It's like, it's not 200%, it is 2,000% the value of the popcorn. Same is the case when a non-Muslim accepts Islam. These people, like, they put a huge searchlight in the sky and promote it. The problem in the reverse is so difficult that an ex-Muslim cannot openly come out and say, this is the reason I left Islam. Because as soon as he says that, every single person will be against him. Thank you so very much. You reminded me of my own channel. You know my own channel? Do you know my channel?
I know 3 of them. So
let me show you my own channel. You'll be amazed what you incited me to do. When you go to my channel, the main video that gets played is because now I'm doing live, so the main video is not there. Oh my god. So that's not how it's supposed to work. But anyhow, I'll show you. It's about Mr. Mimi Dawa, Ali Dawi, and it's about him and me, where we spoke about something. And I need to show this video now.
Mimi Hijab or Ali Dawa?
Aren't they the same? I thought
Mimi
they are the
Hijab
same.
is Muhammad Hijab. And then
No, they are the same, brother. One is the spouse of the other. Come on. You should know that already. Come on, Hussein.
Yes,
Don't do this with me. Don't do this with me. You know better. Now you are doing this with me now. That come on. You should know better. Okay. I never thought I'll have to explain this to you. Okay, let's watch this and I'll play that later. Let's check this out.
Some of them are believers in Christ and they openly declare it. Some of them are hidden believers in Christ and don't expose it in front of the Muslims about losing faith in Islam and new faith in Christ. Some are apostate and agnostic now. There are some churches in my country that are conducted by ex-Muslims. I've become an ex-Muslim for almost 10 months now. I'm so glad that I came across David Wood videos when I tried to learn more about Islam. David Wood has given the most truthful Islamic education that I won't be able to study if I were only to listen to Muslim scholars. The greatest thing about David is he always gives the Islamic source that no one can deny without lying to themselves. Keep up the good work.
And if we don't take constructive steps to deal with this, it is going to become an avalanche.
An avalanche.
A tsunami.
Tsunami. So I'm not going to bore everyone on this video because everyone has already watched it. But then I'm going to bore you on showing you my own video, which is the theme video of my channel. If you go to my channel, Adam Seeker, this should be the theme video if the live stream is not playing. So let's watch this a little. Like, remember when I said if you leave Islam, what's gonna you did shoo on your head? Can you please do that again? Yeah, there you go.
Islam says kill, destruction, and murder. Please don't listen to Islam. Islam says you have to beat your wife up. What? Beat your wife up. What? Please don't listen to Islam. Please don't listen to Islam.
In my country, this is the problem with me.
Okay.
Whoever changes his religion, kill him. 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 Whoever changes his religion, kill him.
Okay.
Whoever changes his religion, kill him. Like I'm showing you multiple narrations, and this one is Ali has murdered the people. And then the problem is, let me finish because that's a question that you asked.
Okay.
My own family wants to kill me. My extended family wants to kill me.
Please don't listen to Islam. Please don't listen to Islam. Hey, Islam says kill, destruction, and murder. Please don't listen to Islam. Please don't listen to Islam. Islam says you have to beat your wife up. What? Beat your wife up. What? Please don't listen to Islam. Please don't listen to Islam.
When somebody willingly and openly rejects the faith, there should be a community of scholars which sit with him and give him a time and talk to him why he's rejecting. This is according, but there is a lot of ignorance regarding
Finish that. Forget ignorance. Finish that.
Regarding how to apply Sharia law on people.
Forget that. No, finish the law. Finish the law. My friend, finish the law. You did not finish it. So they have to sit with you for X many days, depending on Hanafi, Shafi, Hanbali, Maliki, whichever basic sect of Islam you are from. They have to sit with you either for 3 days or 3 months or 3 weeks or X amount of time, which is not mentioned in one of them, but it's an X amount of time. And after that, if the person says, no, I'm not going to accept Islam, what is the punishment?
I guess I'm
No, no,
coming
no,
to
not
that.
guess, not guess. Now, now you have to be trustworthy. You have been
I'm
trustworthy till
truthful.
now.
I
Yeah,
guess
you
in
have been
this,
trustworthy till
I
now. So
guess
state the full one, not guess.
I reckon in this country, after they give you time and this, you might be sent to death. And
Not might
this
be,
is
not might be, not might
this
be.
most likely.
Not
The
most
most
likely.
likely.
Not
Yeah,
most
most
likely.
likely.
My friend, hold on now. Hold on
Okay,
now.
okay,
Now
okay.
you now. So after 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, or whatever, you will be put to death if you do not accept Islam.
Please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam. Hey, Islam says kill, destruction, and murder. Please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam. Islam says you have to beat your wife up. What? Beat your wife up. What? Please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam.
Now you are telling me that you want to give 3 sheikhs to me, and they want to 3 sheikhs, 4 sheikhs, 5 sheikhs, 1 sheikh, whatever, doesn't matter, X number of sheikhs to me,
Okay, okay.
and they are going to tell me, put me in a solitary confinement, and then they are going to try to teach me, hey, come back to Islam, and then there is a time-bound hit on me that in these X many days, whatever sect you actually believe in these X many days, if you do not accept, you will be put to death. So what is the difference? You are still going to kill me. So that is why you can't see my face. That is why you cannot see where I am. That is why the problem. So whether the sheikh does it, or the country puts me to death, or my family puts me to death, it is all according to the sunnah of Muhammad. It is all according to the sunnah of the Muhammad. It does not matter. Whoever changes his religion, kill him. After X many days, doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. Would you like to convince me to accept Islam and then give me 3 days?
Please don't accept Islam. Hey, Islam says kill, destruction, and murder. Please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam. Islam says you have to beat your wife up. What? Beat your wife up. What? Please don't accept Islam. Please don't accept Islam. The only thing that you're going to be concerned about is the persecution that you're going to suffer. I myself, as a revert, was persecuted. These are the things reverts have to be concerned about: being vilified, being kicked out, losing your family members, having to pray in secret.
Because people like you leave their religion, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. You have no doubt, and we're proud of that. Yes, capital punishment will be applied in an Islamic state. Yes, not individuals going and doing it.
So, brother, this is the beauty of Islam, which this kid accepted it. This is the beauty of this cult, because, like, brother, how can you accept a theology, a religion, a faith, a theology, or whatever you may like to call it?
You know,
How?
Adam,
Yes.
you know, Adam, I have this is really very hard to say this, but there is a brother who I'm still nervous to say this but I've heard it from 2 sources now.
Mm-hmm.
This ex-Muslim who is from the Arabian Peninsula, he was on YouTube. He had a YouTube channel, very well known, extremely in love with Jesus, doing an amazing work for Jesus. And I just heard that he was either killed. He was a young guy.
Who used to come to your channel?
He's
the same brother?
You know what? He never came to my channel. He told me he was going to, and I never followed up with him. This guy, every day he has posts about people who accepted the Lord, and he led people to the Lord. He was so in love with Jesus, and he would be like dancing with a sword and just doing these, Arabian traditional dances and stuff, but for Jesus. And I just heard that he was killed.
Oh my God! See, that's the reality, brother.
And,
Show his face. Show his face. Let me just zoom you in. Hold on.
This isn't his face. This isn't his face. This is the text that was sent to me, and it has the picture of Rashid and Father Zechariah on it. It says, Hi, brother. Do you know him personally? I feel so sad about the news. I knew you through him. Like he introduced him to me. And it's with a heavy heart to announce that brother Khalid. And I've heard it from two sources now. And I
And it
am
must be true.
this is a young kid. And I don't know if I could show his, I'm scared kind of to show his picture. My wife loves his videos and she's the one who showed it to me. I hope I'm wrong. I'll show you the picture and I hope I'm wrong. But on the internet, they're saying now that
his friends that Muslim.
Wow. I think I've seen one of his YouTube shows. Man.
Someone said his friend stabbed him.
That's how it is. Exactly. So like I said, I showed you the video. Whether my family kills me or the government kills me, it's the same thing. I'll be dead. No matter who kills. So this person who killed him, even though that he will be caught, let's say, and he will be hanged till death or killed, whatever the government law is, he is going to 72 virgins of the heaven according to his prophets teaching. And then you call this a peaceful religion. I would say it's a peaceful stupidity.
But if he was a morted, and this guy's a morted, and this guy killed him, I don't think they're going to hang him or even send him to prison. I mean, this is in a Muslim country.
No, that's true. That's true. But it depends. Most of the time, they will not even catch this guy who killed him. Most of the time, they'll say we can't find him. Most of the time, he will be with just living somewhere, and no, even though police will know that. Yet, if some people will catch him, and somehow he will get to be reported, and somehow he get caught due to the external influence and all, yet it doesn't matter to him right now. Because he wanted to be killed anyways, he wanted to be martyred, and mostly 80% of the chance they will not catch him. And this is the sad reality. And when the people like Sabeel Ahmed and his followers come up and say, hey, we are going to show you Islam is so peaceful, dude, you will be known by your fruits. That was Jesus said, and Jesus is right. Your fruits will tell you what you are, and a good tree will bear a good fruit. Obviously, this is not a good tree. It never bears good fruit. You can deceive somebody, and you can be a munafiq, a hypocrite, not following the teaching of this cult, or you can be exactly what Muhammad told you to do, and you will do it. And that's what Ali Dawi always said. He will be watching and he'll be proud. And this is the sad reality. The West is not able to comprehend this stupidity. And Mr. Vikash, can you please shut your mouth and let me just give you a timeout so that you won't change the topic in the live chat. And I don't care. Anyhow, this is the sad reality. And this teenager, probably 16 or 17, Hussein, 16, 17, I don't know, maybe 18, I don't know. He's deceived into this garbage.
Yeah. And, I just want, something that's happening right now that if I could just, one thing that's happening right now in America is that there is this wave of, because of the situation in Gaza, that there's this wave of sympathy with Hamas and with Islam. And this is especially true among the young. And I have friends who are like teenagers in school, and they're believers. But in the schools, they're being told how Israel's doing all these, killing all these Palestinians, and they're using all this weapons and stuff. And and what it's creating is this
hatred towards the Jews.
Yeah, hatred towards the Jews, which has always been there, but a sympathy towards Islam that I'm worried that with people like this kid who knows, they see, oh, look at how evil the Christians and the Jews are. And,
Isn't that what they did after 9/11? So the killers became the killers became what? The
victims.
Victims.
Yeah.
And the people who were killed became the oppressors.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you manipulate the game. And that's the evil in this. Our channels do not go out to the public. When you search my video's exact title, you will not find it in the first page. Even though you are searching the exact title, you will find it in a scroll all the way down. And the other titles will come up which are not even the exact match. So why is that? That's the reality of it. That's the reality of how these voices are being stopped, even in the non-Muslim countries.
Yes.
Even in the non-Muslim countries.
Yeah.
Why is our voice not as important as their voice? So stop our voices, let them go in the mainstream media, let their voices be on the top, so that the truth will be hidden. And that's exactly what Hitler did. Now, I will go back to Sabeel Ahmed later. Sabeel Ahmed later. I want to ask you, brother. Now, let me go directly into a particular topic, and then will connect the dots, because this is very important. You left Islam. After leaving Islam and after accepting Christ, you went back to Palestine, supposedly, because there was no Palestine ever, because they never accepted the boundary, except for like 15 years or 12 years. So you went back to Palestine. What happened? Tell us about this time, because that will enlighten our people. Please tell us what happened.
Well, I was there for 9 years, and this was from 1999 to 2007. I was there when Hamas took over the Gaza Strip. I was living in the Gaza Strip when Hamas took over the Gaza Strip. And, I started, I was 2 years in Jerusalem, and I worked in Jerusalem. And, well, actually, first of all, I went to another city, and I'm not going to say the name of the city, but if I said it, everybody would know it. But my father is from there. And so I wanted to go to a place near my father's village. And but I couldn't, because it was, my father's village is completely Muslim, and they but I was in a neighboring city close to my father's village. And when I was there, I was an American evangelist. The way I always did it is I'd go out on the street and I would just tell people about Jesus on the street and just talk to them, And so when I went to the Middle East, when I went to the Holy Land, I wanted to do the same thing. I just wanted to go out on the street and tell people about Jesus, and say, I just want to talk to 10 people. Every day I wanted to talk to 10 people on the street and tell them Jesus died, and Muslims, because I know how Muslims are going to react. I know you tell them Jesus died, they're going to say, they did not kill him, they did not crucify him, is made to appear. So if I tell them Jesus is the Son of God, they say, he wasn't born, Allah is not begotten, he doesn't beget, there's only one God, nobody's equal to him. I know exactly what they're going to say, but I still want to plant the seed. Because, the Bible, Jesus said, when you preach the gospel, he says, the sower went out to sow. You go plant the seed. And so I wanted to just go plant the seed, because that's how I got saved. When I was a Muslim, somebody told me about Jesus. I didn't listen. I thought he was a jerk. Or, it's like, I'm a Muslim, leave me alone. But a few weeks later, the Holy Spirit came. And when the Holy Spirit came, because the Bible says one plants, one waters, but the Holy Spirit gives the increase. So, the God is the one who makes it come to life. And he did that with me. But somebody planted a seed. There has to be a seed. We have to go plant the seed of the word of God in people's hearts. That's what I wanted to do when I was in this city in the West Bank. And so every day I would go out, talk to 10 people, and just tell them about Jesus. And everybody was very nice. And you know, with Muslims, they love to talk about religion. They want to talk to you about religion, you know, because they want to convert you to Islam, you know. And so I would go out all the time and talk to people. Sometimes people would get mad, or sometimes, but very rarely. Most of the time they were very nice. They just wanted to talk. It's like, yeah, sure. I remember one lady, a very, very noble woman. I mean, she was very noble, you know, and we went, my friend and I went to their house, and they were serving us coffee, and she was telling us how beautiful Muhammad was. And she said that, you know, and they have this story about when Muhammad had a Jewish neighbor that used to always throw his garbage in front of Muhammad's house. And one day that Jewish neighbor did not throw the garbage on Muhammad's house. And so Muhammad said, "Oh, what's wrong with him?" So he went to his house and tried to help him, and he led him to Islam and stuff. And so, you know,
By the way, this let me just tell the people who are from India and Pakistan. In the Middle East, the garbage throwing lady is a garbage throwing Jewish man.
Okay.
So the twist in the story is that we have in India, Pakistan, a lady who's old throwing garbage on Muhammad every day. In the Middle East, the same story changes. It's a Jewish neighbor who is an old guy throws garbage on Muhammad. By the way, you can neither find the old lady who throws garbage on Muhammad, nor will you be able to find the old Jewish man who throws garbage on Muhammad. So these are made up stories, and the person who throws garbage changes based on where you are. If you are near the Jews, it will be Jewish man. If you are not near the Jews, it will become an atheist or idol worshipping lady. Same concept, same story, just change the ideology of the person and make it in such that it will make Muhammad look a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes, brother, continue.
And so many of the hadiths that you can actually show, for instance, you know, the true stories about Muhammad that you can show them in the hadith, they don't believe. But this story that's not written anywhere, they believe it, you know. But anyway, but you know, but I was having, you know, every day I'd go out and talk to 10 or so many people. And then what happened is I got a letter, and they taped the letter to the window of the church that I was going to. And on the letter, in Arabic, it says, El Marhum Steve. El Marhum means the late Steve, meaning that I was dead.
The dead speaks. So basically, they pronounced you dead already in front of you. So they called you dead. They said the dead, like, you know, in the jail, when a person is about to go to the electric chair to be executed, they call it dead man walking.
Yeah.
The same concept, they said dead man speaking.
Yes.
Guys, try to comprehend what kind of a threat is being given to Hussein Mashni right there. Yes, brother, continue.
And then I read the letter. The letter says, "Look, you're being used by the Americans. You're probably an Israeli spy or something. You know, if you get accused of being an Israeli spy, you are a dead man walking over there." Okay, and they said this letter was all this stuff, and says you got to stop talking to people about Muhammad, about Christianity. In fact, I was told this, but I don't know. But I was told by somebody at the mosque there that they put my picture in the mosque, and they said the most evil evangelist in the history of this city.
Mashallah, you have a medal. Wow.
I want a T-shirt. I want the T-shirt or the baseball cap with.
Man, you won the T-shirt. But like, let me look into this. The statement that you gave already.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Israeli spy who is a Christian, That is such stupid statement. Jews hate Christian by default because according to them, in their religious books, they abuse Jesus Christ. You know that in Talmud, what is how much of a bad words has been written about Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Now, how can a Christian be an Israeli spy when the Israeli Jews are supposed to hate, rather, they do hate Christians? Like, how does that make sense to a Muslim?
Wow. Well, you know what? They were just grasping for straws, and they just wanted
Thank
to,
you.
and
I wanted to raise this point. Yes,
they're just
it
desperate.
is by hook or by crook, by deception or by any mean. They just wanted
And
to get rid of you and
yes,
kill you. Please continue, sir.
and in fact, you know, so they put the letter, and they told me to stop preaching. So I did not stop. I kept on, and then I got a phone call when I was at the city, and on the phone call, they told me, "Listen, we're giving you 2 hours to leave, or we're going to come get you." And you know, Jesus said, "If they persecute you in one town, go to the next." And so I went to the next. And in my case, the next town is Jerusalem. And so I went to Jerusalem, and but I want to tell you, there were two guys, and they came, and I wasn't there, of course, but I was told they had weapons, and they were saying, you know, they came for me, but I was already gone. But you know what happened is those two guys, they got saved and they got baptized. I was told years later, I was told they both got saved and they both got baptized. And they said the one that we hurt the most is the one who helped us the most. And this was, you know, this was like in
Amen to that.
the year 2000. So I went to the next city, which was in my case Jerusalem, and I worked there. I was there for 2 years, and I worked, and I would go out, you know, every day, try to preach, you know, go speak, you know, I'd go in front of mosques, and you know, and 2 times, you know, I got, you know, I don't want to say this like I'm trying to blow my own horn, you know, but you know, Paul talked about, you know, when he got, you know, beat up and stuff. And, you know, 2 times they beat me up. One time it was in the city of Lazarus, where Lazarus was raised from the dead. And another time it was in Jerusalem. I was sitting in front of a mosque, and on a Friday, and I had some Bibles with me. And this big guy comes towards me and he says, "How come you're not inside praying with us?" And I said, "Well, I'm not a Muslim." And then he already knew who I was. I don't know how, but he grabbed my neck and he started slapping me. And he says, "Well, you're going to become a Muslim today." Boom, you know, and he was punching me out in the street, you know. And then the mosque lets out, and there's
But isn't that what Muhammad actually said? Drag them with chains around their necks and bring them to Islam.
Yeah.
So isn't he following Muhammad literally?
Yeah, he's the one who's
That's in
obeying.
Sahih Muslim.
Yeah. Bring them
Put
with
the chains around their necks and drag them to Islam. So
he was dragging me by my collar, you know.
yeah, he didn't need the chain, so he's like, let's use your collar as the chain. So yeah, so you have been beaten twice already by this big fat guy, slaps on your face. By the way, you still went there. That's your stupidity, because you know, you were not supposed to go there again, because Jesus said, now I'm going. If somebody will not accept you, and take the dirt off your sandals and move to a next city.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
did not leave. That's your fault. You didn't accept
no,
the word of Christ.
no. This isn't the city that I went to from, you know, that first city I left. I was in Jerusalem now. This happened in Jerusalem. And so you know, but anyway, I kept on preaching, and then I went to, I'll just want to tell you one miracle that happened.
That's exactly what I wanted to listen.
Okay. There are many, many miracles that happen. And so you wondered, well, why did you stay there if you got all this problem? Because there were miracles happening. And one of the miracles, this is one of my, there was a guy, because I was going to church there in Jerusalem. And one day after church, my friend and I went to drink coffee. And there was this guy who was serving the coffee. And he sat down and talked to us, and he was interested in me because I was American and stuff, but I could speak Arabic, so I could talk to him. And I was telling him, yeah, we're Christians and we're out after church and stuff. And he had a picture of Jesus in his wallet, even though he's a Muslim. He had a picture of Jesus in his wallet, and he said to me, yeah, I love Jesus and everything. And I shared the gospel with him. I told him how that I was a Muslim too, but then one night the Holy Spirit came and fell on me, like the Bible says, in the last days, I'm going to pour out my spirit on all flesh. That's what happened to me. And I told him that. And I asked him, would you like to receive Jesus? And he said, no, I'm a Muslim. I love Jesus, but I'm a Muslim. I said, okay, fine. And we left it at that. But, I took his phone number. He took my phone number. And, about 7 months later, I was working then at a school. He calls me and he said to me, I hadn't talked to him for that 7 months. I hadn't talked to him, but then he called me and he said, Hussein, I said, yeah. He says, the one who came to you came to me. In Arabic, Illi aja alik aja alayya. And I said, and I said, Jesus? And he said, yes. And he said that he was sitting in his kitchen, and then he was so depressed. And then he saw this light, and he felt the love of Jesus, and he felt the Lord, and he knew that Jesus is the truth. And anyway, he ended up accepting the Lord, and he started coming to church with me. And, we'll talk about, church attendance among ex-Muslims.
But Brother Hussein,
yes,
Brother Hussein, you were captured by some people as well. And you were dragged as well.
Yes. Well,
where did that happen in Jerusalem or some other location?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to tell a miracle so everybody knows that there's a treasure in that field over there. Okay. Now there were problems. There were, one time, I am a guitar player, and
yeah.
I love playing guitar and writing music. And so I almost always had my guitar with me. Well, when I was there, the Intifada started, the second Intifada. I don't know if you guys know, that's the uprising, the Palestinian uprising that began in 2000. I was there when it started, and I was there for the whole thing. And there was a lot of bus bombings going on at that time where they would go blow up buses and kill 21, 30 people, however many. And so the Israeli army was very paranoid. Not paranoid. They were very, aware of, are very observant of every Arab. And even though I'm American, I'm of Arab descent. And one time I was walking down the street with my guitar and stuff, and there was a bunch of soldiers who saw me. Like about 200 feet away, they saw me and they started yelling at me, and they're armed soldiers, and I didn't understand what they were saying, but I understood their motions to throw my guitar and the stuff I had on the ground. And I put my hand up, and then they said, come here. And so I went, and then they sat me down on the ground, and they stopped all the traffic in that area. And they said, there's a terrorist on the hill. And that was about me.
Alhamdulillah. The biggest terrorist with a guitar.
And you see what happens, there had been somebody who put a bomb in a guitar and blew himself up in Tel Aviv. And so they thought that I was like that. And so they interrogated me for like an hour and a half. The soldier spoke Arabic, and I got to speak to the soldier. The soldier asked me, he says, but your name is Hussein. That's a Muslim name. And I said, yeah. He said, but you're not a Muslim? And I said, no, I'm not a Muslim. He says, well, how does a Muslim become not a Muslim? I said, there's only one thing in the universe that can make a Muslim a non-Muslim, and it's your Messiah. He changed my life. So I got to witness to the soldiers. That was great. But they got this thing because they wouldn't let anything near my bags and near my guitar and everything, because they thought I had a bomb. And so they took my guitar and all my stuff and they shot everything. And the guitar had 4 bullet holes in it. I have it. I'll show you a picture of it. I have it. And, so that was the first time that that I was shot at. Well, even though I wasn't shot at, it was all my possessions. I had a sweater that said "Peace in the Holy Land 2000." My mom bought it for me, and it has 12 bullet holes in it. Everything.
Mashallah.
They shot everything I had, and but I got a chance to witness to the soldiers. But that was, it was a very tense.
Another story was where you were taken away by 2 Muslims or 3 Muslims. I forgot. How many Muslims were there who took you in a room where they broke your guitar? How many Muslims were those?
Okay, now there's maybe a different story here. The different story. There's another story, because I moved from there to the Gaza Strip. Okay, and one night I was driving, and I got lost. And when I got lost, I stopped and asked some people. I asked them for directions, and it was a young man. And the young man said, he asked me, "Where are you from?" Because when I speak Arabic, I speak with an American accent. And so he was suspicious of me, and I said, "Oh, I'm from Gaza. I want to go, to the south." And he says, "Okay, just wait here, because I got some friends who are going there, and they can go with you." And and so I waited there, and they got 2 more guys came, and they were all standing by the side of my van, and I had my arm like this, and then one of them reaches out and puts his arm around my hand like that, and he says, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Gaza, and I'm going to the south." And he said, No, where are you from?" And they wouldn't believe it. And then they said, "Do you have any identification?" And the only identification I had was my American passport. And this was during the Iraq War. And the most famous videos in the world at that time was where they were cutting off the heads of all the
Americans.
Al-Qaeda was cutting off the heads of Americans. Yeah. And I didn't want to show them my American passport. And so I sped off. I sped off as fast as I could. But when I got to the end of the road, it was like sand. It was all sand, because it was a desert there. And the only way, if I would drove into the sand, I would get stuck there. And so I had to turn around and go back. And so I turned around and went back into the downtown. And when I got through the downtown, I was trying to go back north, to where my friends were, because I knew the way back, the main road to go back. And when I got to the downtown area, there was donkey carts and kids and everything. So many, the mess, the chaos that is in the streets over there at night. And when my car got stuck there in the traffic, 2 guys came and they pulled their cars next to mine, and they jumped out and they said, "Get him!" And one guy came and he latched onto the window, my passenger window that was half open, and he wouldn't let go. And I started driving towards the main road, and he fell off. And he was okay. Okay, he was okay when he fell off. I heard later he was okay. But I started driving, and while I'm driving up this main road, some guys in the car come right up next to me. And they go in front of me about 200 feet, and they stop their car. And this is at night, okay? And they got out, and then they started shooting. And they shot my car. And I felt 2 bullets. But in the morning, I looked, there was 14 dings on the side of my car.
Wow. Oh, wow. Brother, how many times, I can't seem like it is beyond me to comprehend how many times you have been attacked. Like you have been attacked in California as well. Last time I was watching one of your old video, you were attacked. You were being attacked in America, in California, with your hand on a wooden cross, standing on the roadside in California. Like how many? Like can you even count how many times you have been attacked at?
No, I can't count them. But I just want to say something about the shooting incident that happened in the Gaza Strip. You know, you know what happened the next day? We went and talked. You know, we found out what happened, and because I speak Arabic with the broken accent, they thought I was an Israeli settler. And the Israelis were still in the Gaza Strip at that time. There were still like 8,000 Israeli settlers. And they thought that I was an Israeli settler. And do you know what they said? They said, even from the mosques, they were saying, there's an Israeli in the city. And everybody was looking for me. This is what they said. Everybody was looking. And you know, the leader, you know what he said? He said, the only reason he's alive is because God loves him. He's a Muslim, said this. He said, the reason he's alive is God loves him because we wanted him so bad. And I want to say that because I want to give glory to God, man. It wasn't my time. My car got shot 14 times and I was in it and nothing happened to me. And,
Wow.
You know, just.
By the way, the people who doesn't know, this is not a movie. And when a bullet comes into the car, hits the car, bullet doesn't reflect off the car. It tears the small, thin steel of the car and it goes through and through. Even the bullet coming out of a 9mm gun, which is one of the smallest guns. Yeah, don't tell me there is smaller gun than 9mm as well. Even that can penetrate through the car. And that's how bad it is. It's not movie. Yet, you know, a lot of time people get shot at the car and they are safe without a scratch. And you know, one of time was Hussein Mashni as well, and that's the beauty. When his time wasn't there, he was supposed to interview me for the very first time, who has never come up live and spoke, and he was supposed to push me to come up and do this work, you know.
And I'm so blessed with the way God has used you. I mean, I was checking out your channels today. You got what, over 200,000 subscribers on your Urdu channel, over 60,000 on your Hindi channel, over almost 60,000 on your English channel. That's awesome, man. I'm so blessed with the way God is using you. And yeah, I'm so happy that God has a powerful voice through you to reach your people and, you know, expose the truth of Islam. And so I just want,
like literally I'm nothing like when it comes to these things, like but you know, our Pakistani people and even the Indian Muslims, they have no idea. They have no idea.
yes,
A lot of Pakistani comes to my channel and they have no idea what's happening.
yes,
They'll come and say the perfect Quran, and I was like, I listen to them and I go in a shock. Sometimes I feel like banging my head on a wall. Never changed. And I was like, how do you know it was never changed? Do you have the original copy? Okay, you don't have the original copy. Do you have a copy 100 years after the death of Muhammad? Okay, 150 years after that. Okay, 200 years after the death of Muhammad. Can you even compare it with that copy? There's not one mistake. There are hundreds of thousands of mistakes.
And all the different.
Yeah, forget the different musafs. Like I like, you don't even have to go to the different musaf. That's how stupid it is. Only one Quran. Who said that? So just like that, there is a stupidity which just came up with the word there is only one Quran, and it just started. And they just said it so many times. They
Yes.
repeated this lie so many times that it became a truth. Just like the old lady who threw garbage on Muhammad. They will
Yeah.
repeat the lie so many times that it will
Yes.
become true.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. Just like Israel is inhumanely attacking Palestine. They'll repeat the lie so many times that people will think it is true. That
Right.
is the reality.
Yes. And you know what? You guys, there's a real danger right now because they are repeating that. They are repeating that right now. And look what's happening to the universities of America. They're completely siding with Hamas now. And it's going to be, they're going to start siding with Islam, you know? And you know what? We really need to pray for our country because I really think there's a danger here that there's kids in the public schools that are being taught. They never say anything good about Christianity, but they always talk about Islam in glowing terms, like in the public schools. They say, oh, the Christian crusaders came and they were so cruel and they were monsters, but they never tell you about what was, about what Islam was doing. They always say Islam, the Jews and the Muslims and Christians lived in peace together, and Islam really was
Yeah,
much.
right.
That's what they're teaching in the schools, and so the kids are confused, but they say these terrible things about Jesus, and
Brother, the only thing Muhammad loved and hugged was a tree. You know that, right?
well,
You know that.
I know there was a tree that said to him, "Salam alaik," So I mean, those trees talked, so it wasn't,
Yeah, and trees cry as well. So when a murtad cry, Muhammad never hugged it. He killed it.
Yeah.
When a person who does not like Muhammad cry, Muhammad killed him. But when a tree cried, Muhammad hugged him. You know that, right? If you
Yes.
don't, let me show you. Hold
Okay.
on. Give me a second. The only thing Muhammad loved were trees.
Yeah.
This is in Sahih Bukhari, brother. Sahih Bukhari. Not something hanky-fanky. It's Sahih Bukhari. Check this out. This is the truth about Islam. When it was Friday, the Prophet sat on the pulpit. The date palm stem near which Prophet used to deliver the sermon cried so much that it was about to burst. The Prophet came down from the pulpit to the stem of the date palm tree and embraced it, hugged it, and it started groaning like a child being paused to stop crying, and then it stopped crying.
Subhanallah.
So, Prophet used to give sermon under this date palm tree, and then somebody built a pulpit for Muhammad, and Muhammad went on the pulpit and started to give sermon, and the date tree started crying, and the stem of the date was crying so bad. Oh my God, it was crying so bad that it will burst like an atomic bomb. So Muhammad said, Wallah Habibi, I don't want my people to die because of the bursting of the date palm tree. So he ran towards the stem of the date palm tree, hugged him, and he's like, my baby tree, please stop crying, my baby tree, please stop crying. I don't know why I thought of this hadith when you said that, and I'm sorry that it's kind of out of the context a little, but I don't know why this hadith came into my mind when you just simply said that, and it's just such stupidity. I don't know why. Like, how a person in today's time and age would read this stupidity and will say, Alhamdulillah, I accept Islam.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've been thinking about, and I want to do a live stream about it, but I haven't yet. And that is that I remember when I was a Muslim. I mean, I was 45 years ago. I've been a Christian 45 years, but when I was a kid, when I was 15, I was a very committed Muslim. When I would walk by a church, I would spit at it, because I felt that, the churches were the enemies of Allah and everything. But, there was one thing, and that is that I I loved Jesus, and you know, there was so much about Jesus that I admired. I admired the way he was kind to people, the way he saved that woman that they were trying to stone for adultery, the way he would heal the sick, the way he would feed the hungry, the way he would raise the dead. He was so powerful, the way he would forgive the sinner, the way he could walk on water, he could calm the sea. There was so much to love about Jesus. He was so awesome, he was so beautiful, so wonderful. But I was a Muslim, and I wanted to find something to admire about Muhammad. And you know what? I couldn't really find anything. You know, all I knew about him is that he would go fight these people, and he'd fight these people, and that he was a warrior, and he'd fight against the Crusaders and Christians, and that he would, you know, he was always fighting people. He was always, the only thing I could think of positive about Muhammad was that he rode on the magic donkey. You know, there's a little bit of a miracle there, you know. And so I would draw that picture and hang it on my wall, you know, because I was looking for something to admire about Muhammad. There was nothing. And so they need to have him hugging a tree. They need to have him helping this person who throws garbage on his doorstep, you know. They need that to show that something good about him. Because if you look at the reality, he's not like Jesus. There's nothing to admire about him. He repents 70 times a day. Why does he repent 70 times a day? That means he's sinning every 13 minutes. You know, and
Man, that was a crazy sentence.
it may be 11 minutes, but it's there between 11 and 13 minutes.
I just love it, man. Wow, beautiful sentence. I never thought of that in this manner. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Hey, Mr. Adnan, in the live chat, listen, my friend. Muhammad did not said spit on the churches. He just said destroy them, break them.
Destroy them. Spitting on them is absolutely nothing compared to what they really do to the churches. You want to see what they really go to Pakistan. Go to Pakistan and see what they do to churches. Go to Egypt and see what they've done to the churches.
And read the life of Muhammad and see how many churches and temples and everything Muhammad and his followers destroyed. Spitting is nothing. So you are just a fool. You love a tyrant and a terrorist. Even in the Hadith, Muhammad is a terrorist. In the Sahih Muslim, it says that people used to get afraid from a 1 month's journey because of the terror that Allah had given Muhammad. This is your Hadith, my friend.
Yes.
Go check it out. But Brother Hussein, let's go back to our Sabeel Ahmed guy. You know what, Sabeel Ahmed, and I have open challenge for Sabeel Ahmed. Sabeel, I go live every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So pick your time whenever you want to come and come up and tell me exactly what you said in your videos. And let me play a little bit part of the video again, but a very important part, because Sabeel actually wants to give dawa in a different way, and I accept his channel. I said, okay, come up and tell me exactly what you said at 4 minutes 40-second mark. Let me just go and play that, and then we will talk about you more. Very important to play this. So Mr. Sabeel Ahmed, I have an open challenge for you. You can join me with your scholar as well if you want to. Stop playing with the kids over there, 17 18 years old kids. Come up and talk to an ex-Muslim. Let me play what you want them to do.
Always convey and invite. Allah is the one who guides. So Jesse is
Allah is the one who guides. So please convey Allah is the one who guides. Let me just tell you, Sabeel Ahmed, Allah is not the one who guides. Allah is the one who misguides.
Yes.
Allah clearly says in the Quran many times, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, not 10, more than 10 times, Allah misguides people. Allah is a misguider. And
It's
let me
his it's his name. One of his names, one of his
is
99
Mudil.
beautiful names, Al Mudil, the one who
Alhamdulillah.
misleads. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And let me go back. Mr. Sabeel wants to do something. Check this out, what he wants to do.
Yeah, so the translation, we can give it to you today, and you can give it to him. And if he has questions, we can sit down the way that we sat down with Jesse. And if
Okay. Dude, you don't have to give me the translation of the Quran. I already have the translation of the Quran. Rather, I have 7 translations of the Quran. And I have questions, Mr. Sabeel Ahmed. I have questions. Just like you sat with Jesse and gave the answers, answer my questions, Mr. Sabeel. Mr. Sabeel Ahmed, open challenge to you. Can you please bring all of these 4 teenagers with you so that they could listen and watch and learn and give me the answers that you challenged to these kids to go bring the guard that they have in their society? Why do you want to speak with a guard? Speak with an ex-Muslim. Speak with me. Come on. You want to speak with a guard who doesn't know about Islam? Speak with me. You want to deceive a guard who doesn't know anything so that you would give him out of context verses and you would prove to him that Islam is good? Brother, come to me. I'm here. I go live. So come to me, my friend, Mr. Sabeel Ahmed. It is an open challenge to you based on your statement that you gave on your own channel. Open challenge. You want to give answers to a non-Muslim. I am inviting you. I'll be very nice. I'll be very humble. I won't abuse. I will only say the truth. The truth that is written. And what is written? You all know that. We know that. You know that. And that is why you are so afraid to come up. And you will never come up. Even if the sun rises from the west, you will never come up. Because you know that I will show you from your scripture that Muhammad was a pedophile. He was a child molester. He was a rapist. He was a womanizer. He was a caravan robber. There is nothing in the world who will be more worst than your Muhammad himself. You cannot show me one more example worse than Muhammad in the entire world, in the entire known history of mankind. You can't show me a single person worse than Muhammad. I challenge you. I challenge you to show me one single person worse than Muhammad in any aspect that you pick up.
You know,
This is the reality.
One of the ways too is that Muhammad is that what other religion tells you if you leave, you're supposed to be killed? You know, I mean, but it, you know, some people may practice that, but they, you know, did their leader, the God they follow, tell them to do that? Muhammad did. Muhammad told them, if somebody leaves, he man baddal dino fa'uqtilu, whoever changes his religion, kill him. Yeah,
absolutely.
And so it shows you there's no one else like who done something like that, you know. And
we have with us probably a Muslim. Let's see, Mr. Sulaiman.
Sulaiman,
please louder.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, now I can. Yes, Mr. Sulaiman, are you a Muslim?
Yes, brother, I am.
Yes, sir. What do you want to say?
I'm just interested in the conversation. I just saw you guys were live. I didn't catch too much of it. I just heard something about the prophet and something about
I have
apostasy.
claimed. Yeah, let me just give you. I've claimed that you will not find anyone worse than Muhammad in any aspect. That's point number 1. And point number 2 that we spoke about just right now was that in Islam, the multiple hadiths that says man baddala deenahu faqtulu, whoever changes his religion, kill him. So these are the 2 points. Pick one that you want to pick.
I mean, if we have time, we can go through both of them slowly, but as long as we're respectful and honest in our opinions, then we can go ahead and try to address both
Absolutely,
of
my
them.
friend.
Can I
Yeah.
just ask? Can I ask Suleiman a question?
Sure.
If Suleiman allows, yes, sure.
Can you tell me 5 things you admire about Muhammad?
5 things I admire about Muhammad. He was a great leader. He was a great husband. He was a great father. He was an honest person. And maybe the 5th thing I would probably say is he was very strong, that he
Okay,
was able to receive
brother, can we go slow?
revelation.
Number 1 is great leader, number 2 is great husband. I lost the third one.
Father.
Oh, and great father. And number 4 is
But do you
honest.
know why I
And
would say any of those things?
okay, can number 5, please?
Number 5, I just said was that he was strong, that the fact that he was able to receive revelation.
Okay. All right. So you have 5 points. Brother Hussein, you want to continue or should I?
You know what? I would like to get on the good husband part. Okay. I just want to tell you know, Suleiman, I was a Muslim too, and like I said, I was very convinced. I was so zealous for Islam. I believed that it was the true religion, the last religion. Muhammad is the last prophet. The Quran is the last book. But I just want to tell you something about that. You said he's a good husband. You know, I just want to tell you, first of all, I don't agree that he was a good husband. He had many wives. At one point, supposedly 13 wives. And there's sahih hadiths, that talk about Muhammad hitting his wife, Aisha. She was Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 years old. He was 51. She was 6. He was 51. He had full sex intercourse with her when she was 9. He was 54. So this 54-year-old man gets on top of a 9-year-old girl and has sex with her. And it also says, they're having baths together and everything. And can you tell me, Suleiman, does that sound like a good husband? A 54-year-old man pouncing on a 9-year-old girl? Do you really believe that's a good husband? Suleiman?
He's here.
Did you know that, Suleiman?
He's thinking.
Did you know that, Suleiman?
He's still thinking. He's there. Let me just show you that he is there. And I will show him just for a second because I know these people are doing something really bad nowadays. So there you go. He's there. I'm hiding him because nowadays people do really bad things on our channel. So I cannot show the person for very long. Yes, sir. Suleiman.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, great. I'm saying yes, I'm aware of, obviously, I'm a Muslim. I know that Aisha was 6 when they married and 9 when they consummated. When you asked me the 2 questions and then you asked me for 5 points, I think it would have been better if you gave me a chance to give my reasoning maybe, or answer one of the questions. But we are already addressing one of the points, right? Which is Aisha.
Okay,
I think
you're the one who said that what you admire about Muhammad is that he's a good husband. And my question is, he married this little girl when he was an old man and had sex with her when she was 9. He was 54. And how can you call that? I don't consider that a good husband.
Well, again, you guys are suffering from something called presentism. When you fit the morals of nowadays in this life that we're living in 2024 to the life that people were living not even like 1,400 years ago. Even if we go back, not even 500 years, even if we just go back 200 years in the UK or even in the USA, and look up the age of marriage. It was in 7, 8, 9. Even kings and queens were having more than 2, 3, 4 wives. This is a presentism fact
Okay,
that you are
but could
trying.
I ask
Yeah.
you? But just I mean, I heard Yasser Qadi talk about that too. But you know one thing, Suleiman, and you're talking very
Yeah.
respectfully. I appreciate that. There's a lot of young girls, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old in the Muslim world right now, who are marrying 54-year-old men and 60-year-old men and 70-year-old men because of Muhammad. Because Muhammad said it was okay, because of his example. The Quran says you're supposed to follow his example. He did
لَقَدْ
that.
كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ إِسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. So it's not for that particular time. It is forever according to Quran. Yes, continue saying.
Yeah.
Can I
And
jump
so
in right there?
but all these girls today, you're talking about presentism. Well, this is in the present that a lot of girls are suffering because of Muhammad's example, because he did it, and they're still doing it because of Muhammad in the Muslim world. And you cannot say no, you can't do that, because there's a verse in the Quran that says you can do that. And so, look at all these poor suffering girls. If you have a daughter who's 6 years old or 7 years old, and an 80-year-old man wants to marry her, according to Islam, you're supposed to let him marry her because Muhammad did it. And there's a verse in the Quran, chapter 65, verse 4, that says this is permitted.
Okay, I would like to just jump in that the Quran also states that no woman is forced to marry anyone. So if anyone is forced to marry anyone,
Where does it
that
say
is a
that?
cultural. Where does
it
it
say that?
say?
Where does it say that?
In
Okay,
Quran.
give me a second. Yeah,
Okay.
in
And
the Quran.
by the way, in the Quran and in the Hadith and in the Sharia, when the girl is young, her father is supposed to marry her, and a 9 years old, rather a 6 years old girl, cannot give consent. Even Aisha, there is not a single Hadith in which Aisha gave consent. Abu Bakr married her because her father married her, and that is what happens in the Muslim countries. For example, Egypt, where a 12 years old girl died 3 days after the wedding night because of the internal bleeding of a 25 or 28 years old man having sex with her, and she died of internal bleeding because they were following Muhammad and her sunnah. By the way, continue and show me the verse where it says you cannot marry a girl until her consent.
Okay, just so that we have a decent discussion. What I didn't catch your names. One of you is Hussein and the other?
Adam Seeker, you can read it up, it's right in front of you, my friend.
Okay, sorry. Adam. Maybe you have a YouTube. I'm just asking politely.
Sorry?
I was just asking politely, maybe you have another name. Maybe your name is not Adam. Maybe Adam is like you're using Adam as the first man.
I am the first
Anyway,
man. I claim to
okay,
be the
that's
first
fine.
man, and I claim to be the man who was created by Allah's hand 7,448 years ago. That's my claim.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things that I can address in terms of forced marriage, probably maybe not in the Quran, but at least in the Hadith, is that
We
it's
can go to
haram
the
for a
hadith later. You, brother, I'm
yeah.
so sorry. Humbly apologize. I humbly apologize. You just claimed that it is in Quran. So were you deceiving just like most of the Muslims who come up and deceive me every other day?
Mm, I would like to be an honest person. I don't
But
like to say the word. I would like to say if I made a mistake, I made a mistake. But I'm
no,
not
brother.
here
So
to cause
basically,
drama.
oh, I'm 100% going to agree with you. But the problem here is that
Mm-hmm.
if you are honest, you would not have stated that in the Quran. You should have said, I
But being
know.
honest and making a mistake is two different
Brother
things. If
Suleiman,
I'm
yeah, let me
honest, I
finish.
said I
Let
made
me
a
finish.
mistake.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Until or unless we caught you on your words and made you show us, you were going to run with this point, and you would have run away with
Why would
a
I run with
person
a point I
talking to a
cannot
person.
prove, brother?
Hussein, I never finished, man. Suleiman, will you let me finish? Please allow me to finish, because I allowed you to finish, didn't I? Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. So the problem is that people like you who claim to be honest, and I agree that you might be honest, and for the sake of discussion, I'll agree that you might be honest. But the problem is you claim something, and once you claim something, and you claim it with a absolute clarity that, oh, but in Quran it says you cannot marry a girl. You said that. By saying this, if I would not have read the Quran, I would have accepted your rebuttal. Now, because I have read the Quran cover to cover many times, I know it is not there. So I asked you to give me the evidence. Now you are saying, I'm sorry. So basically, what is going to happen is every time you say something, do I have to ask you the proof now so that I would know that you are telling the truth? Is that reasonable ask?
Yes,
Sorry,
I want to say that you have this on record. I did say, let me check. I'm just trying to be honest. I can quote says, "O you who have believed, it is not lawful for you to inherit women by compulsion." That's one of the verses that you can take to say that you're not supposed to
Okay,
marry people.
give me the Quran. Give me the Quranic
419.
ayah.
It's 419.
419. It is inherit
Yeah.
or marriage.
Yeah, inherit.
Okay, so it's not marriage, right?
Yeah, but inherit, if you are married, if somebody,
So
your brother is married,
no, brother,
if
no,
but
no,
I
no,
just let
no.
you spoke the whole time, at least give me 1 minute or even 30
Yeah, please,
seconds.
please speak because you are going to lie, and I will show you the tafsir of the verse that it is not for
Don't
that.
want to
Please.
lie, brother. I'm trying to be as genuine as possible. I promise you. I promise you. I
Then
don't know
have
who
you
you've
read the
been
tafsir?
speaking
Have you
to.
read the Muslims? Have you read the tafsir of this verse? Any tafsir?
Have I read the tafsir of this verse?
Any of the tafsir of this verse? Any scholars?
Yes, I'm looking at one right now.
Okay, which one are you looking at?
Ibn Kathir, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so you have not read it before.
Do you speak Arabic?
Yeah, that's why I jumped on the call, thinking we can have a reasonable conversation because you asked me
Are
two
we
questions.
not
No,
having a
you.
reasonable discussion?
I mean, we're trying, but if you can just let me speak for like a minute, and then at least I can. I'm
So
not trying
now
to be
now you're playing a
disingenuine in
victim
any
card,
way.
brother. Now you are playing a victim card, brother.
Okay. It's like, because in Arabic it says, لا يحل لكم إن ترثوا النساء كرها. I mean, you can't force women to inherit women. You know, and
You
it's
cannot.
like,
Okay.
how do you inherit women?
Yeah, that's why I said in many cultures, even in the Arabic culture, I'm from Africa. In the African culture, when you have a brother who's married, if he passes, the wife is literally passed on to the brother. It's a cultural thing. So Islam came to abolish that, but at the same time, it allows the woman to agree or disagree. That's why I said if I made a mistake, and I apologized, but I'm trying to give you, even there is hadith that show that the women are not forced into marriage. But this is one of the points. I
This
can
is not
give
the.
another point
Yes, give me
that
the hadith
says,
because
yeah,
obviously you
yeah,
agreed
but
now after. Okay,
before I
Suleiman.
give you the hadith,
Yes, please
okay, go
say.
ahead, go ahead. It's your channel. I don't want to disrespect you, and I'm trying to be
No,
as
brother,
genuine as possible.
I can put a timer out for you on the top
There's
right
No,
corner.
I don't need a timer. I just we
Okay.
can go back and forth, but I just want a chance at least to speak. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, brother. So basically, after reading the tafsir that you now read, because you have not
Mhm.
read before, you agree
Yeah,
that this is not about the marriage, correct?
I'm saying there are other hadiths as well.
Okay. First of all, okay. All right. So now we have a conflict, right? Again. So first of all, you said it is in the Quran, and then you gave me this verse, and I told you that this is not about the marriage. And you said, no, it is. And I said, have you read the hadith? And you said, yes, I'm reading it now. So you have not read the hadith before. You are going to some article and you're trying to figure out how you
I'm
can prove
not
your point.
okay. I'm not on an article. There's 2 points. One is the verse from the Quran, which you said is there a tafsir on this verse, right?
I
The
asked you
tafsir
that.
on
Yes.
the tafsir on this verse leads to a number of hadith because this verse, as I said, which we were just discussing now, it talks about inheriting women, which refers to marriage. So
No,
that's
it
why I
does
brought
not
it up.
refer to marriage. It refers to, you already told me that one of the hadiths in this verse is that once the husband dies, inherit the woman in that particular family to another brother. You said one of them is that. So it's not about the marriage to begin with. We
How
are
does
talking
he
about,
inherit the husband?
yeah. So this is about the second marriage. And in the second marriage, we are going to talk later on that subject. So first of all, you tell me when the woman is with the father. So please give me that hadith.
When the woman is with the father?
Yeah.
Could I show a
Yes, sir.
hadith
Yes,
about
brother.
that? I
Yes,
have a
brother.
hadith. It's right here. Can you show it?
Yes. All right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go, my friend. There you go.
This is a hadith here. It says, a woman who has been previously married, Sayyid, has more right to her person than her guardian. And
Okay.
a virgin's father must ask her consent from her. Her consent being her silence. At times, he said, her silence is her consent,
Consent.
her affirmation. So if, like a little girl who's 6 years old, like Aisha was, or like, when she's silent, that is her consent, and so it's not like she has a choice in the matter. She's just, her silence is her consent. And that it's like she's a young girl. She doesn't know what's going on. If you read the story about the Aisha, she was playing on her swings with her friends, and then her mother came and took her. She was 9 years old. Took her by the hand, walked her to the door, washed her face, and it said, Aisha says, I didn't know what she was doing. She didn't have a clue what was happening. And then her mother went and gave her to Muhammad. She didn't know what was happening. And then there was a bunch of dancing. The Ansari women were clapping and singing for her because she was going to marry Muhammad. She didn't know what's going on. And then it says she went to the house of Muhammad. And you know what it says about it? And it's in at least 3 hadiths. Talks about the fact that her hair fell out. Her hair fell out when she went to Muhammad's house. Okay. And a little girl doesn't lose her hair. It's not a natural thing for a little girl to lose her hair. But you know why little girls lose their hair? Because I used to live in the Gaza Strip. Okay. I used to live in the Gaza Strip. And one time I went out, we were giving food to the poor people. And there was this lady who showed me her daughter. Her daughter was like 6 years old. And the woman showed me that her daughter's hair was falling out in the back. And I said, why is her hair falling out? She said, because she's so scared of the jets and the tanks and the shooting. She's so scared that her hair falls out. And 3 times in the hadith, it says Aisha's hair fell out because she was scared to death of Muhammad, this 54-year-old man who was jumping on her. And this is all in the hadith.
Can I get that hadith? Sorry.
Sure, about the hair.
All of the ones that you just mentioned, because you didn't really quote any of them.
Oh, sure.
Let me give you the first one first. You'll search on this here one. I will show this one. There you go, brother. Read this. Aisha was playing on the swings, and unexpectedly her mother came and gave her to Muhammad, and she did not know what is going to happen. You can read it by yourself. Can you? Let's read it for the sake of everyone. You want me to scroll it on the top so that you can read from the top, Suleiman? And Suleiman went off. And he was like, oh my God, they are showing the hadith right there and then. And he's like, okay, no, he's back. His internet might have dropped. So, all right, brother Suleiman, do you want me to scroll up so that you can read from the top with us together? There you go. There you go, my friend. You can read it.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Can you please read
Okay.
the hadith that you wanted?
Yeah, so you're saying it's Sahih Bukhari 3894. Okay. Just while we're on the topic, I hope, if I can just get a few words in. This is what I'm trying to understand, is that if Muhammad was preaching sallallahu alaihi wasallam to get married to little girls, as we're discussing now in this chat, wouldn't he? And just let me go just 1 minute without just 1 minute, and you can comment. Wouldn't he predominantly marry younger girls? That's the first point. And the second point is one of
What
his
was
wives.
I didn't hear
Just
that.
let
I
me
didn't
just
hear
let
what
me
you
just
said.
let me finish. Just
I
let
know.
me
Could you
finish.
repeat it though? Because I didn't hear it. Could
Okay.
you repeat it?
Okay. If Muhammad was focusing a lot on getting little girls to marry, like this was the main thing that he was trying to do, he was such an evil person. Why didn't he? Why weren't all of his wives predominantly that age of 6 or 9, as we are saying Aisha, which we believe Aisha was? There's no Muslim that will doubt that. That's the first thing. The second thing was we know that one of his wives, who was Jewish, I think I'm not claiming to be an imam or a mufti. I'm just here to have a general conversation. She was married before the Prophet at the age of 10. So this again, just this discussion, this form of argument never existed in that time. There was no the Quraysh and every other person in that time. They called the Prophet sorcerer. They called him a witch. They called him everything you can imagine. Obviously, they killed his family. They butchered some people. They ate their livers, etc. If you read the Hadith, you know what I'm talking about. But none of them ever a pedophile. And this is why I'm trying to say that even if we can go into Hadith, we can try to
Okay,
look at all this stuff.
Salman,
But
you're going too long. Let me answer you the first point first. You said, why did Muhammad not preach that? Yes, he did. There are multiple hadiths where Muhammad said, why did you not marry a virgin whom you could sport with and she could sport you? So there are multiple hadiths where, and virgins are very young girls back in those days, and virgins are considered to be young girls. Muhammad did propagate that. It is in so many hadiths. If you have not read it, I'm fine. I can give it to you because you asked for it,
no,
and because you
if you
asked
don't
for it,
mind,
so I'm giving it to you.
Brother Adam, I didn't specify whether they were virgins or not. Obviously, Muslims, and I'm not sure what religion you guys are, but Muslims and Christians alike would appreciate or prefer to marry virgins. I don't think any of us would disagree with that notion. I'm not sure what the argument is there, if there is any at all. My argument.
Virgin in those days were called very young girls. Okay, this is how it is. You can go and read the shara of these hadiths. These are called young girls, and that is exactly what Muhammad preached. Number one. Number two, what is the problem of marrying a non-virgin girl if you can marry 4 girls, 3 girls, 8 girls, 18 girls, or 9 girls? Because when the Quran says go and marry 2, 2, or 3, 3, or 4, 4 of them, yes, right now the predominant argument of the Muslim is you can marry only 4 because it ends at 4. But in the tafsir, you should know and read. There are other opinions that when it says 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4, it is the addition of 2, 3, and 4. So it's 9. And another opinion is when it says 2, 2, and 3, 3, and 4, 4, it means 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. That is
Can you
18.
share that tafsir?
So I can, but that's a separate thing right now. I will, but let's go one by one. So
Sure.
you're asking for the evidence of so much that I have already shared in this channel already with everything. But like, let's go for the very basic stuff. But let's go with the very,
Very
very basic
basic.
stuff.
Let's talk about, yeah, I don't mind.
So very basic is at least 4. Okay. And I will give you the reference. If you stay here with me long enough, I will give you every single reference that I spoke about. I won't run away because it's my channel
Okay,
also. How can I
brother
run
Adam,
away?
just the one about 2, 2, 3, 4. Just since you mentioned it, does it actually say 2, 2, or does it just say 2, 3, or 4? Just to clarify, because I don't want to misquote the Quran as well.
There you go.
I think it's 4,
I will
3,
show
right?
it to you.
It says
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 and 3 and 4.
So I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, I mean,
3, 4.
Misna was Salasa wa Raba'a, right?
Yes. So 2, 3,
Okay.
4. It doesn't say
How did
2,
your
2, 3,
scholar
3, 4, 4.
okay, how did your scholar took it? And I will show it to you. Brother,
But
this is
I don't believe in okay, whoever the scholar might be, and there is another point that you mentioned that the word virgin means a little girl. The Quran doesn't put words or age on women. It puts the time of that they get their menstruation cycle. So
no,
if
it
you
doesn't.
get your menstruation,
No,
yeah,
it
that's
doesn't.
exactly what it says in
No, it
Surah
doesn't.
An-Nisa.
Can
No,
I?
it doesn't.
Can
I
I?
will show you. Yes, brother, but you want to say
Can
something.
I? Can I just? Could you just show him 65 word because he brought that
Yeah,
up.
that's what I'm saying. So because he
Okay.
brought that first, let me bring that first, and then I will give him the tafsir as well. 65:4. There you go, brother. Read that first, and then we can go over there. Well, there you go. You can read Arabic, right?
No, I prefer the English. I told you I'm not.
Okay, so read the English then. There you go.
And those who no longer expect menstruation among you, amen, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And also for those who have not menstruated, and for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And what's the verse before that?
Oh, you can read from the first 1 to 5. There you go. It's the chapter is Surah
It's
Talaq. Read from
Surah.
the one. Talaq.
Surah of divorce.
Surah of divorce. Surah Talaq. There you go.
Nor should they leave unless they are commanding a clear amount, and those are the limits. And whoever transgresses the limits, okay, you are not okay. Sorry, next. Are we reading it together, or is it just me? Because I
No,
can also open it on
no
my
worries,
side.
no worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah, but like if you have another phone, you can open it yourself as well. But if you do it here, then your voice will not come. So yeah.
And
Let
when
me know
they
when to
have
move to the
fulfilled
next.
their term, so what does this mean? And when they have fulfilled their term, either retain them according to acceptable terms or part with them according to acceptable terms, to bring witness 2 just men from among you and establish the testimony of acceptance.
So you
Whoever
know that
should
when you
be
give
able
one
to hold
talaq,
them must be.
when you give the first talaq, there is a waiting
Uh-huh.
period. That within that waiting period, you can reconcile back to her. This is what Allah is talking about. Okay, that's a
Okay,
waiting
so it's
period.
talking
That
about divorce. Okay.
yeah, it's a Surah Talaq. So the context is
Okay.
talaq. There you go.
And we'll provide for him from where he does. Okay, but I thought we were talking about menstruation. This is somebody who's already married.
Can you read, brother? You will know.
Okay, no, but I'm just trying to say what the context is somebody who's
Brother.
already married. Is that correct? I'm just
Yes,
asking, brother.
because talaq only happens when you are married, not before.
Okay, so all I'm asking is, this is my question. It's very simple. What is the age to get married to a woman? I'm not asking
Okay.
once you are already
Yeah.
married,
So
when can you penetrate? I'm not
okay.
asking that question. The
Okay.
question is,
Let me go back.
what
Let
is
me
the
go back. Yeah, because you clearly did not read the verse that I gave you. Let me read it now for you to
yeah, but this
comprehend.
is okay, sorry.
So to give divorce, you need to be married. Okay. And in Islam, it says, and this is where you actually come. This is where it shows how old you will be when you get married. This is the reality now. And those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, when it says no longer expect menstruation, it means they are old women, right? Because they were menstruating, now they cannot menstruate, correct?
When they were menstruating,
No
now,
longer, no longer. So it means they are old women who now cannot menstruate, means they are old women.
okay.
All right. So we are talking about divorce, and in divorce, there are specific women that you give divorce when they are not menstruating. Okay,
Uh-huh.
because you are giving them divorce when they are old. If you are in doubt, their period is 3 months. That if you have doubt that maybe they can bear a child, their waiting period is 3 months. Correct.
Okay.
And also for those who have not yet menstruated, and the Arabic is very clear. Lam yukhidna. Wallai lam yuhidna. The ones who have never menstruated means they are young girls. And
That's
for
what.
those who are
Okay.
pregnant, their term is that they give birth. So we are not talking about pregnant. We leave that part. So the period of waiting period before this girl can be remarried is 3 months. Girl who are such a baby that her menstruation has not even started.
And she's already been married once and divorced.
Yeah,
She's
because
already before she reaches puberty, before she menstruates, she's already been married and divorced. And then before someone else can marry her, the iddah, the 3 month period, you have to wait 3 months before you can marry her, and she hasn't even menstruated yet. So this is a prepubescent girl who
Aren't
hasn't.
there women who don't menstruate at their age?
This, but
sorry.
if you, I've heard about
No, I'm
this.
saying, aren't there women who don't menstruate at all? Like, forget all the age. Aren't there women who don't have it at all? Does
Yeah, but
this
like
say that it's a girl? That's how you're describing it? That
That's
it's a
what
little girl?
that's what that's what your scholars say. Okay, if you
no,
go to
no,
Okay,
no,
which
no,
scholar
Hussein,
then?
Hussein,
uh,
Hussein, no,
go ahead.
no, brother. Let me just clear that.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
read any scholar from Tabari, Qurtubi, Ibn Ibn Kathir, Jalaluddin as-Sayuti, Jalalain, any scholar, it is talking about underage girl. There you go. I'm showing you one by one. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain. It says, who have not yet menstruated because of their young age, their period shall be also 3 months. This is Jalalain, and I've highlighted that part. Second one, this is Tafsir Ibn Abbas. It says,
Mm-hmm.
because of the young age, their period is 3 months. Another one, this is Asbabul Nazul, the reason for the verse to come down by Al Wahidi. And it says, the Messenger of Allah, some woman in Medina, saying that there are other women who have not been mentioned in chapter number 2. He asked them, who are those women? He said, those are too young, such that they have not started menstruating. And those
Those
who are
who are
too
too old
old, that their menstruation
and
has
those who are pregnant.
stopped, which is the verse actually starts from the too old whose menstruation has stopped. This is the verse which,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts from the too old one. If you go to, let me now go to, because it doesn't give you Ibn Kasir, and I'm sorry I didn't have the picture of Ibn Kasir. Let me go to Ibn Kasir now, and let me go to 65:4, and let's go search young. This is Ibn Abbas talking about young age. This is Jalalain talking about young age. Ibn Kasir, the same for the young who have not reached the years of maturation. Let me zoom in so that you could read it easily. Chapter number 2, Surah Baqarah, like I said, some woman and divorce period has been mentioned in chapter number 2. And then it says the same for the young who has not reached the years of maturation, the idda or the waiting period is 3 months. So every single scholar of Islam
I mean,
till
there's
the
a lot of
golden
other.
period, it all says young girls, young babies who has not yet menstruated. Sorry, brother
But
Hussein.
isn't that counterproductive then? I wouldn't understand this verse in this manner, because if the Quran is saying that, so you're saying that the Quran or the Hadith don't say that a woman should at least have menstruated first, because why did the Prophet then wait until Aisha was 9 after she menstruated?
And
She
she
was
and she
not
didn't.
menstruating at 9. You will
She
not
hadn't.
find a single reference which says Aisha started menstruating. Yes, brother Hussein.
Yeah, I just want to say there's also one hadith, that that says that girls, when they played with dolls, when girls used to play with
Yeah,
dolls,
let me bring.
and it says specifically in the hadith that Aisha was in Muhammad's house playing with dolls, and Muhammad used to play with her with the dolls too. But they were not allowed to play with dolls because they considered those images, unless they were prepubescent girls. That means that
There
they
you go.
hadn't menstruated
That's your
yet.
hadith. That's your
Can I
hadith.
comment on that part? It's again, we're talking about uh, I feel like, okay, not everything that we're discussing, but this part again about dolls. What did you want any girls in that time period to do? There was no TV, there was no other games.
I
Suleiman,
don't care. This is
that's not what
your hadith says. That's
it's
the
right in
issue.
front of you.
Read it here. I'll read it. I used to play with the dolls in the presence of the Prophet, and my girlfriends also used to play with me. When Allah's messenger used to enter, they used to hide themselves, but the Prophet would call them to join and play with
Okay.
me. The playing with dolls and similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha at that time, as she was a little girl who had not yet reached the age of puberty. So
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say. Was she at this point that of the hadith that you've shared right now of Fatul Bari? Okay.
Fath al-Bari.
Sahih.
It's a very, very
Has she
important.
already menstruated or not?
No, she had not menstruated yet. She was still
Okay, so-
allowed to play with dolls because she had not yet menstruated. But she was married to Muhammad, living in his house.
And living in his house.
Having
And
sex
she
with him.
only went to his house
Whoa, hold on.
after her mother gave her away to Muhammad.
Okay, so
In the
we're
first
saying that there's no hadith at all that talks about Aisha's menstruation at all, that she got her menstruation?
Zero. None. Nada. Not in the Siyasata.
No. Not in the Sia. What about in in the 6 books you're talking about, right?
Yeah. 6 Sahih books.
What about
But could I ask you a
I'm
question?
remembering
Suleiman?
I'm remembering one where she was going to Hajj, and I don't know if you've heard of this one, but there's one where she was going to Hajj, and then she reached a place and she said, "Oh no, I've got my period." Because this is just off the
Okay.
top of my head. Like I said, I'm not.
So when did Muhammad? Okay, brother, let's talk about it. When did Muhammad do the Hajj, the first Hajj, which was stopped? How many years after the Hijrah? Because Aisha was married right after the Hijrah. And when was the first Hajj that Muhammad attempted? After how many years of Hijrah? 7
No,
or
I'm
8?
not saying that they reached. I'm not saying that they even.
I'm not
reached.
talking, brother. I know that. I've memorized the Sirah. So what I'm saying is he did only one Hajj, but I'm saying the first travel to do Hajj, where he actually did a agreement with the kuffar. How many years after the Hijrah did he do that? Actually, 7 to 8 years after, according to the Sirah. So now you're telling me that 9 years old Aisha right now would be 9 plus bare minimum 7. So obviously she would be menstruating at that particular time.
She'd be 16 by then.
Okay, so you're saying that the hadiths, or if there are any more than that one, all of them that talk about menstruation, they're all talking about afterwards, not when she was 9.
Much after. Much after.
And could I ask you
Okay.
a question, Suleiman?
Sure, brother Hussein.
What do you consider more important, the Quran or the Hadith?
For me, they are one and the same, I would say, because the Quran says that if you are in question or in doubt, go to the Prophet. And going to the Prophet means the Hadith. Granted,
I just want to tell you that the verse that you just said is 1094. It doesn't say go to the Prophet. It says go to the people of the book, to the Jews and Christians.
I think you're quoting a different verse. Well, the one I'm quoting is different. The one you're quoting is something else. I'm talking about. 1 second, let me try and put it up.
But fair enough, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Suleiman.
Okay, sure.
But you know what? The reason I wanted to ask you that, Suleiman, is because the Quran is supposed to be Allah's words, and the Hadith is supposed to be Muhammad's words. And so I would think that Allah's words are more important than.
I wouldn't put it like that, because in the Quran it says that anything that Muhammad said or did was not his own. It was kalamullah. So I'll give you an example. There is even, if I'm not mistaken, there is a verse in the Quran or a surah in the Quran where Muhammad to do something, and the Quran is speaking to him like, you need to focus on this. you know, and
Yeah,
it's
brother
literally
Hussein,
part where,
Suleiman, let me be
yeah.
on your side. Let me be on your side. So, Hussein, he is
Yes.
from Al Sunnah wal Jamaa. So, I don't think we should try to convince him on that. Let's
Okay.
forget that. He accepts all the Sahih hadiths. I'm with him, my friend. So,
Okay.
Suleiman, I'm with you on that. Don't worry, I'm
Okay.
with you. I was once Al Sunnah wal Jamaa. So I'm with you on that. So I'm gonna be standing against Hussein on this one. Hussein, I'm against you.
I'm
All right.
Palestinian. I'm used to everybody being against me. So go ahead.
Ah. All right. Yes, Suleiman. So if we go back, there is not a single
Yeah.
siyasat hadith which clearly mentions, not clear, let's say, which does not even ambiguously mention that
Mm-hmm.
Aisha was having menstruation at the age of 9, and that is why Muhammad waited for 3 years to marry. Rather, what we find is that Aisha was sick, and because she was sick, so Muhammad waited for some time. Probably, I cannot give you the hadith which says Muhammad waited because she was sick, but I can show you that she was sick and her hairs were fallen, and her mother was giving her extra food so she could be healthy enough, mature, healthy enough for consummating the marriages. That is what we can give you. But let all of these things on the side. Let keep everything on the side. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
think about this. You know that Muhammad is the example for all mankind. You know that, right?
Yeah, I
Uswatul
know what
Hasana.
you're gonna argue. I know what you're gonna go towards the argument. For
Okay.
me,
So
it's not really like the point I was trying to make. I know I understand your point is that example, and everyone will now follow that example. My not
nope, nope.
argument, but
That's not
my
my
point
argument.
is
That's not my argument.
okay.
That's
Go
not
ahead
my
then.
argument. Okay. So Muhammad is the Uswatul Hasana, and Quran is the book for the entire mankind till eternity. Correct? You know that. I know that. This is what Islamic belief system is. It is till eternity. It will remain the same. And every order in the Quran, nobody can change it because it's in Quran. Now, with that being said, if Muhammad did something, it is a sunnah. So you can either do the sunnah or you can ignore the sunnah sometimes, because sunnah is not compulsory on you. And
Yes.
I can ignore the sunnah by saying, yes, Muhammad married a 9 years old girl, and that's not mandatory for me to marry a 9 years old girl or a 6 years old girl or a 5 years old girl. But I just showed you the Quran that you can marry a 6 years old girl, a 7 years old girl, a 5 years old girl. I'm not going into the Sharia right now. I can show you Imam Shafi's Sharia book, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even going there because it's clear in Quran anyways. So what makes you think that
Uh-huh.
Allah, the God of the universe,
Uh-huh.
supposedly, will give such a verse, or rather verses, that you people can marry and destroy some girl? Because that's what happened in Yemen as well, and in Egypt. I'm giving you one article right now, just to show you that Muslims are doing this.
But
This is
this
the
is the
Guardian.
argument you're saying that was you said it's not your argument, but it is your argument. Anyway, it's
No,
fine.
it's not my. I said I don't care about the Sunnah. I ignore the Sunnah. So I did not care about Muhammad is just Uswatul Hasana. Even though Muhammad is Uswatul Hasana, yet I am ignoring him. I said I am ignoring him. I'm saying in the Quran it is saying that. And hence the Muslims are doing it. And the Yemeni bride, 8 years old, died on the wedding night just because of the
Yeah.
internal bleeding on her wedding night. Now she was 8, not even 9. Okay. Because of the internal bleeding, because it is allowed in the Quran by Allah, not even Muhammad, not a Sunnah.
Okay. Okay, let me just try to address
Mike
this
is
in
all
a
yours.
very yeah, let me just try to address this one second. So when the Quran came down, it didn't come down as a book, right? It came down in verses. And when it came down 1,400 years ago. Again, that's why I'm saying that there is a period of time, okay, where there were certain things that were allowed, and then at that moment in time, when it doesn't make sense to follow that, followed, and the most of the cases, if I'm not mistaken, all of the cases, an ayah would come down to change that situation, like alcohol. you know for sure how alcohol, the verses, they came down slowly, you know, and other things as well. It nothing really came down as the law, like smack dab, and then don't stop doing it right there. So at the time of the Prophet, again, it's permissible because they had a short lifespan. They didn't live until 30. A lot of people didn't make it past even 30 or 25 like us, how we're making it to 70, 80, 100 years. And I can maybe give you one or two books that were written and authored by people
I
who
just want
talk
to
about
say
that
I
generation.
disagree with what you said, because Muhammad died when he was 63. Aisha died when she was over 60, and they did have good lifespans back then. There was a woman could lived 120
No,
years.
they didn't. Not everybody had good lifespans. We need to talk. We're talking about
Suleiman.
a large population and a small group of people. The
Hussein,
large population
Suleiman.
had lifespan in the past.
Suleiman.
Okay, tell me, brother. Tell me.
Brother Hussein interrupted you in the middle, and I'm sorry about that. I wanted to allow you to say as much as you want to, and because there's a reason that I allowed you, because this is a most common spoken lie of your Maulanas. And Hussein knows that, and I know that. And I was so tempted to interrupt you in the middle, but I didn't. There's a reason that I didn't, because I wanted you to say it completely. And I know why Hussein was so tempted, and I know Hussein was tempted, and because I have been on Hussein's shoe as well, and I know we are all tempted. Brother, tell me, how old was Adam, and how old was Noah, and how old was Moses according to the Islamic Shara and Hadiths, and how old was Suleiman, Hazrat Suleiman? So you know that the ages
Adam.
back then were much longer, and even 1400 years ago the average age was not 25 years. You can go Google it and you will see that it was not 25 years. Number one. Number two, Muhammad was not 25 years old when he married a 9 years old girl. Woman age is supposed to be longer than men, higher than men, because women do not go into the war. So your base argument that the Muslim brings in, that men used to go into war and they get killed, not because of the famine, not because of the sickness, it's because of the war. Number two, they twist that argument and they bring in, oh, because that is why Aisha was early married. But Aisha was a girl, not the boy. And girl is supposed to have a long life. In that is why 4 marriages were allowed back then. This is your Islamic scholar argument that men used to go into war, women would stay
I'm not
home,
even speaking from an
and
Islamic standpoint.
hence men would die. So you have a lot of population of women, and that is why 4 marriage was allowed. Now Muhammad is already 53, my friend, right? So
Do you
he's marrying a
believe
9 years old girl. Why?
Okay, do you know, let's say for example, Rebecca in the Bible?
If Rebecca was 3, I'm going to give you $100,000 right now. Show me a verse in the Bible where it says Rebecca was 3. I'm going to give you right now $100,000.
But we don't look at the Quran for age. Same way we're not going to look at the Bible for the age, right?
Brother, you are not supposed to look at the Bible or anything. I just said, I know this is another falsified, lied, preached by your Maulanas. If Rebecca was 3, I will give you $100,000 right now.
So you're saying that she wasn't 3?
Another 100.
Oh, you'll give another
Okay,
100.
wait,
Brother,
hold
you'll
on,
have $200,000.
So was Sophia Sophie or so?
Wait, brother,
Hold on.
wait. First, let's fix Rebecca first. Then we'll jump.
No, because
Brother Suleiman.
no,
Brother Suleiman.
we've been
Brother
jumping a lot throughout this whole
Brother, you are
conversation.
not a frog. I'm not a frog. Let's fix this argument, then go forward. Rebecca was 3. You'll have $200,000. $100,000 from me.
I'm a humble person, Adam. I'm a humble person. I bow down when I'm not here to argue. I said I'm here to have a genuine conversation. I mentioned Sophie earlier in the conversation, but we didn't address it. So
Okay,
now,
we'll talk
since we
about
came
Sophie.
back to this about the age
We'll
of
talk about
Jews,
Sophie.
because
talk
for
about
me,
Sophie.
what I know is that the Jewish
Brother, can you hold on?
marriage.
Can you
Sure.
hold on?
Because I was talking earlier, but then you both cut me off.
No, you went to Rebecca. You cut me off. You need to rewind and check that I was talking about a certain point, and then you jumped in, and then you brought in Rebecca. So the point number one is that you first lied and you said you are sorry, and I accepted your apologies
Brother, it
based
doesn't
on the
have to
fact.
be a lie. It's just it's a
May I
conversation.
finish? May I finish, sir? Please allow me. If you want me to finish, I can finish. If you don't, I won't speak. I will let you talk. Okay? May I, sir?
No, I'm trying to be. I don't want to be put as an evil or bad person. When you say you don't allow me, I am trying to be as respectful
No,
as
I never
possible.
said
I
you don't
hope
allow me.
you can
I said,
both see
can
that.
you please allow me to speak? That's what I said.
No, it's your channel, brother. I don't want to be disrespectful in any
Brother,
way.
oh my goodness, brother Suleiman, if I want to push you in any way or form, I can just click on the buttons and remove you down and speak. But I want to have a nice conversation. That is why I said, may I
Inshallah.
please finish my sentence? That's why I said that. So I wanna give a point which is a very, very logical point right now. You
Okay.
first stated something which I claimed that you lied, and you said no, you did not, right? You said you did not know, and that is why it is not a lie. And I said next time when you say something, say when you know something, otherwise don't say it. Did the same thing again with Rebecca. You
I
used
was
an
asking a
argument.
question only.
No, you were not asking the question. You said Rebecca was 3. So now Rebecca was young. So now problem with this is that I have heard these the arguments. You have heard this argument, but you never verified. If you go into the Bible where the Rebecca marriage is being mentioned, Rebecca was pulling water from the well and
Mm-hmm.
feeding the camels and the sheeps. Can you tell me in your wildest imagination, can a 3 years old girl do that? Do you have daughter
That's
or
the
a
point
cousin
I'm
who's
trying to
3 or 4?
say. If we're just discussing, I don't know. That's why I said if we're
Let's
just
talk to
discussing.
Rebecca first, not anything else.
Okay, let's talk to Rebecca. There is, let's say, something. Have you heard of the what's it's
Wh-
called,
What I
Midrash
just
in
gave you,
Agada?
when I just gave you the argument that I
Yeah,
just gave you, did you listen to
yeah.
what I just told you?
You said that Rebecca was pulling animals and feeding them.
Not animal. I said
A
she was
camel,
pulling water from the well.
water. Sorry. Yeah.
Water from the well. You were not listening, my friend. She was
No, no, I'm listening.
pulling water from the well. In those
Uh-huh.
days, you did not had anything. You have a rope that goes through a particular wood and the water, and it might be 4 gallon or 5 gallon bucket, approximately, give or take.
Okay.
Now, can you tell me a 3 years old or 4 years old girl can pull water out of a well without any support to feed her camels and the animals?
Okay, does it say when she's pulling the water, is that at the age of 3, or is that,
It
does it
doesn't.
say when that, or like, does it give any idea of her
Brother
age at
Suleiman,
that time?
so do you think a 3 years old girl can do that?
But that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to say that in those days, kings, queens, human beings in general, at a very young age, they were built differently. They weren't like our 2, 3, 4, 5,
So,
6 year olds.
brother, we are not talking about 50 years ago. We are just talking about 2000 years ago, right now, at the time of Rebecca,
Yes, that's what I'm
2500.
saying.
So, can you imagine in any scenario, a 3 years old girl can pull water of 5 gallon or 4 gallon bucket from the well? Is that possible in any medical science, no matter which you pick?
In science, because you can, and that's why I'm saying, if you observe historically,
Salman,
people of the past
Salman,
at that age,
history,
yes,
pick up
sir.
history, brother. Please, now I'm getting frustrated because of your falsified narrative. Pick up history, pick up anything that can prove that 2005 years ago, 2006 years ago, 3000 years ago, a 3 years old girl can do such a thing. Anything, pick up anything.
And they were living longer back then, by the way.
Exactly.
This is Abraham's daughter-in-law, and Abraham lived 170 years. Okay. Isaac lived 137
Whatever
years.
years, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like more than 100 years.
But they weren't just living 25 years or anything like that. And the Midrash, the book that you're talking about,
Edge
is not in the
for
Bible. It's not in the Bible. We don't accept it. We believe the
Brother,
Bible.
Hussein, you're jumping on topic, brother. Just one topic at a time. Slow down, brother. I know you are tempted.
I'm not tempted. I'm just trying to
Not you. I'm
address.
talking to Hussein, not to you, my
Oh, okay.
friend. I'm talking
Sorry.
to Hussein. I
I'm just trying
know.
to. I'm just trying to address the situation in a way that.
So
Okay.
Suleiman, you are just trying to
Yeah.
make a pretzel show, and we figured that out. Perfect. Now let's do this. Let's do this. Anybody who is at least 40 years, 50 years, 40 years older, and the girl is underage, less than 10, marries, let's call them a pedophile, no matter where it is written. How about that?
You can say what you want to say, but I'm not gonna agree with that statement.
So you were trying to go to Midrash, and you were trying to go to Jews, and you were trying to go to everything. And I just finished that argument. Hussein will agree with me, and he will say that if the girl is under 11, under 12, under 13, and the male was 40 plus, and they did such a thing, that's a pedophilia. Can you say that?
Yes, if you're talking about a general statement, men who, what do you call it? Men who there's a word
No men
they
who,
call.
no condition, no exception, no nothing. A man who is over 40 marrying a under 13 years old girl is a pedophile. Full stop. Can you say that generally? Doesn't matter whether he's a Christian, he's a Jew, he's a Muslim, does not matter. Can you say that? No matter what era it is. 2000 years ago, 3000 years ago, 4000 years ago, doesn't matter. Can you say that? Brother Suleiman, we can't hear you. Brother Suleiman, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, now
Hello?
we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I'm saying I gave an instance of a person who was married before they married Muhammad at the age of 10.
Let's call him a pedophile.
But
Can
that's
you call
today's.
Muhammad a pedophile as well?
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. If
So yes, there
you
were
gave
evil
me
people. There were evil people in every era, and I
if you
agree
gave
that there were evil
me
people in every era. I agree that there were evil people in every era. So there were evil people and there were good people. A good person will never do that. An evil person will do that. And I will call him an evil person. Can you call everyone who did such an act an evil, heinous act? Can you call him a pedophile and an evil person?
no, because there's data that shows that people who married at that age
No,
back in
that
those
was not
days.
a generic thing. Because if it was a generic thing, that Muhammad should have married her Fatima with Uthman when he asked for it, and would not have said that she is very young.
Please repeat
She
this
is too
point.
young. Sorry.
Repeat this point again for clarification.
Uthman asked for the hand of Fatima.
At what
Okay.
age? Yeah.
At the age of 12 or 13 or 14 or 16, depending on which seerah you will take.
Okay.
And Muhammad said she is too young. But when then he gave the hand to Ali, because Ali was almost similar of her age at that particular time. So you are
What?
telling me,
Uh-huh.
so at the age of 14 she is too young. Why?
Well, between the time that Ali and whoever you said asked for the hand in marriage, what was the gap?
Nothing.
Nothing?
It says then. Then there you go. Read the hadith. It was
Uh-huh.
narrated from Abdullah bin something. His father said Abu Bakr and Umar, they both, may Allah be pleased
Uh-huh.
with them, proposed marriage to Fatima, but the messenger of Allah said she is young, too young. Annaha saghira, she's very young.
Uh-huh.
Then Ali Ali proposed marriage to her and he married him to. So now the problem is that it was only allowed for Muhammad. Why? When her daughter is too young, he did not say, I'm not going to marry her to you. So Fatima was too young for Umar and Abu Bakr because they were old men like
And
Muhammad.
how many people have authenticated this hadith?
Everyone. It is Sahih. And there are multiple narrations. You can go and check it out. So this is Sahih. There is no one who actually called it Zaif or even Hassan. There is not even a category of Hassan for this hadith. So now the problem is not this. Like, problem is that you have never read the hadiths, and I can understand that, and I'm giving you the references. But the problem here is you are trying to defend an indefensible position. Why are you trying to defend it?
Okay, well, like I said, for me, if I have to be from my own standpoint, this whole time we haven't gotten into any of your guys' religions or anything like that, but it's fine. But for me, like I said, if I'm following something that is coherently progressive, positive, you know, here and discuss hours and hours. I haven't even realized the time. I need to go and pray Fajr, for example. But I'm just saying, there are so many other things that we can discuss. But if we're only going to talk about Aisha's age, let's say, for example, and that the Prophet married this one person, and you're saying that this now has a trickling effect on
No,
the
I'm not.
people who are.
I did not say that. Why are you bringing that, brother? I did not say that. Don't pose it
No,
on me. Say it from your
but-
side and I'm fine. I said
no, I
it
mean,
does not matter whether Muhammad did that or not because Quran allows it. So this was my
okay,
argument.
regardless, yeah, Quran and Muhammad both say you're saying both say that it's okay to marry a young person at that age. Okay, I'm living in these Muslim countries that you're saying these things are happening in.
Yes,
I
they
don't
are.
see them happening in a large percentage, and I don't see them quoting the Quran or Hadith to support them
Yes, they are. So
doing
I
these
live in
things.
Pakistan. I live in Pakistan, and in
Yeah,
2018, the last action was done, and Pakistan tried to progress. And there was a guy in, you can search on the internet, in Sindh. He married a 13 years old girl when he was approximately around 17, and the media was blasted upon him. This is the bad guy.
quite
He's an
rightly
idiot.
so.
He's a fool. He was a blah 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 blah. The media blasted on him,
Uh-huh.
and they were news about that. And then some media guy finally got a hold of him, and they interviewed him with his bride, supposed bride, 13 years old. And he came on the channel and he said, and he spoke and he said, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, and all that, and blah 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 blah. And he said, and they're like, this is such a filthy act. How can you marry her? There cannot be no love between you and this such a young baby girl. You have paid money for her, etc., 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 etc. And he just said the same thing. He said, our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam married Hazrat Aisha alayhi salam at the age of 9 and consummated the marriage, sorry, at the age of 6 and consummated the marriage at the age of 9. And this is a sunnah. And in Islam, it is allowed. And according to Sunnah, what I did is not haram. Rather, it is not just halal, but rather it is the Sunnah of Muhammad. And he gave the hadiths that Muhammad said, marry young girls, virgin girls, and be
Yeah,
sport with them. And he gave that on the live TV.
yeah.
Let me tell you something,
That's
brother.
what
Let me
that's
tell you
what
something.
does
Let
as
me tell you
well.
something. After that, there was not a single person, not a single news channel, not a single person who went back to him again, and he enjoyed whatever he did. Now, this is what is called, even 1% of the girls, their lives are destroyed. Let's say even 1%. This is because of Islam. It is filthy, brother.
I would say anybody can use a verse in its outside of
No, they
its
cannot.
context.
They cannot. Show me
Outside
the
of
context.
context,
I challenge you for $10,000 to show me the context that I've shown you, which I made you read the whole context, and I gave you the tafsir. Show me the context in any other way possible. Go,
yeah, give
$10,000
me.
challenge.
Let's stop throwing money around.
Brother, I always do that
back. I've
because
been writing down all of these.
Hazrat Muhammad said that, come and fight for me and I will give you blondie girls. Chapter number 9, verse number 42, Tafsir al-Qurtubi. And it says, come attack on the Tabuk. I will give you blondie girls because they have the blackness of the Habsha and the whiteness of the Rome, and they are blondies. Let's go attack them, Tabuk, and I will give you blondie girls as Malkal Yameen. This is how Muhammad did that. So I'm following Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, my friend.
Okay, I'm writing all of these down, by the way. Don't worry.
Brother, please,
like I said, I'm here to have a conversation.
Brother, I whenever I say I give evidence, you can go and read it.
No worries. So is it cool if I ask? I don't know. There was 2 questions you mentioned earlier. One, I don't want to leave this one about Aisha yet, but what was the second one? About
there was no question from my side.
No, you had 2 questions. You said I have
Hussein
2 questions
has the
for
second
you.
question. Hussein, brother Hussein. I think he's mad at me. I'm sorry.
No. I'm eating dinner.
So you had another question, brother Suleiman is asking.
No, I'm saying you had another question, Adam. You said you have 2 questions. One was about the age of Aisha. The second one was about
I don't even have, like, I never
apostasy. Yeah, you did. You said you have 2 questions.
Apostasy. Okay, apostasy.
Yeah.
No, it was before you came in. At that particular time, we weren't even talking about the age of Aisha. At that time, there was 2 things that I claimed before you came in, and one thing was you will not find a person in this world worse than Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's point number 1. Point number 2 was that in Islam, if you leave Islam, you should be killed. Man baddala deenuhu fa'uqtulu.
Okay. But
those were not questions, those were statements, brother.
But the one you just made now, no, I don't. I'm just asking. I don't know any of your religions. Are you guys based on any religions?
There is a relationship with our Lord Jesus Christ. We don't call it a religion. We call it a relationship.
So do you follow the Bible at least? Yes.
I follow what the Jesus Christ said and laid out in the New Testament.
Nothing from the Old Testament.
It is abrogated. Read Hebrews chapter number 8, verse number 13 to be precise. For the context, you can start reading the whole chapter 8. There are only 13 verses there. If you need more context, start reading from the chapter number 5. If you need more context, you can read the whole Galatians. In the Galatians, you can go to chapter number 3 to be very precise, which will give the essence of the whole Galatians. And you can read all of that. If you want me to show you something, I can show it to you on screen as well.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to understand what Jesus meant by he didn't change the law. He didn't come to change the law.
He come to fulfill it. You did not read the full verse. Now you are giving me the opinion
I
of
didn't
scholars.
even disagree with you.
He said, I have come, he said, I have come to fulfill it. Old Testament is all about him. He came to fulfill it and he fulfilled it. He did not say you people have to fulfill it. You are giving me Matthew chapter number 5 verse number 11. Now the problem is in the same Matthew, he abolished the law and gave you a new law. For example, he said in the past it says, do not kill. Let me tell you, do not be angry on somebody. He said in the past, in the law, it is said, if eye for an eye, ear for an ear. He said, I tell you that even if you go to the Gentiles, they have the same law. I tell you, pray for your enemies. So now the whole idea is the chapter that you are reading, let alone the previous chapter or the forward chapter, you read. So when you talk about Quran, I gave you the context, right? You said read from a previous verse. I gave you 5 previous verses. Did I not? So
no,
now
I'm talking about the part where it says a jot or a tittle.
So so basically, yes, he said no jot and tittle will be removed or changed until everything is fulfilled, and he fulfilled it. Now, this whole chapter, read the whole chapter and you will know. Did he not change the law? Did he not change the law himself?
If he came to give, in my perspective, when I read the Gospels, because at the end of it, before he ascends, he says,
Can you tell me that you have read at least one gospel? Can you claim that here? that you read at least
And
one gospel.
yes, I read the Gospel of Luke.
Which one? You
I
read
read
the
the
Gospel of
Gospel of
Luke.
Matthew.
You
Yeah.
read the whole Gospel of Luke and Gospel of Matthew.
Yeah, because I had to compare them because they're
So you
synoptic
never
gospels, and
read them. I guarantee you did not read them.
that's a very serious claim then, because
Yes, that's a
I
very
come
serious
from a
claim.
Christian background.
No, you did not. Just like
My
the Quran that you
aunt's a
never read.
Christian.
Let me tell you, because I have already picked up like 3 or 4 of your lies already. Same is the case that you
I'm not
gave me a
trying to
verse
lie.
out of the context, that you never read Matthew, because if you have read Matthew, you would not have given me this verse out of context, because you are giving me a verse, chapter number 5, whereas if you read that chapter, if you would have read that chapter, you would have never given me this verse here. So see, this is how easy it is to show that you are a liar. This is the third lie that I picked, and you are
I'm
trying to
not trying
say
to be a
that it
liar.
is
I'm
not a
literally
lie.
trying to have a conversation with you.
Brother, no,
I'm not trying to be a liar.
you are giving a lie after lie in your conversations,
So
because Muhammad said it
you're
is allowed
saying
to
that
lie.
you're saying somebody asking a question and discussing
No, brother, it's no. You can. So if you have read the
then
Bible, no, you were lying previously as well, and now you're again lying that you have read it. So if you have read it, tell me, what does Matthew chapter number 5 talks about?
you expect me to just take it off the top of my head? So if I read it,
What?
that means I should have framed it?
Yes, if you are having a debate with me on a particular thing, then you should
I'm
know
not
what you're
having a
debating me about.
debate. I came on the channel and said I'm here to have a conversation. I even
My
said I
friend,
would love to come back to you and talk to you about the things that you mentioned about Aisha. I'm just trying to have a conversation, brother. I don't know
okay,
where
then
you can go back in this whole
tell
chat.
you. Okay, let me tell you. Go read chapter number 5 of the Matthew again, and then come back. Is that good enough?
Okay, discuss it further.
No, if you have not read it, I'm not going to discuss it. Go read it first and then come back.
Please give me the
If
verse.
I could say something about the Matthew 5,
Yes,
about
please, sir.
him fulfilling the law. That, when Jesus said he came to fulfill, and it's not just the law, it's also the prophets, to fulfill the law and the prophets. And one way that Jesus did that is that, because the Bible is a miracle, it's a miraculous book from God, it predicted the future. It predicted that Jesus would be born in Bethlehem. 700 years before Jesus was born, the prophet Micah said he would be born in Bethlehem. 500 years before he was born, the prophet Isaiah said that he would be born of a virgin. 1,000 years before he was born, the prophet David, said that his hands and his feet would be pierced. 1,500 years or 2,000 years before he was born, Abraham said the place where he would be sacrificed on Mount Moriah in Jerusalem. And there's like 350 of these prophecies about Jesus. It says that they were going to give him vinegar to drink when he was on the cross. It says, it said that they were going to gamble for his clothes. 1,000 years before he was born, the prophet Dawood said that, and Jesus fulfilled these prophecies that were written about him thousands of years before he was born. And that kind of compares like with Muhammad, that the Quran says that Muhammad is in the Bible, but there is no prophet, because Muhammad wanted to have that glory like Jesus, but he doesn't, because there is no prophecies about Muhammad in the Bible. But in the Bible, there's over 350 prophecies about Jesus. So that's how he fulfilled the prophets. See, he fulfilled those prophecies. And, that's one reason why Muhammad wanted to imitate, he wanted to imitate Jesus and say, oh, there's prophecies about me too, even though there weren't, But
what's the prophecy about? I mean, I've heard briefly about Isaiah and Imam and Dawood. I haven't really heard a lot about them, but I've heard a lot about Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah 53.
Yes.
But if you, what's the hadith? Or sorry, not the hadith. What's the quote in the Bible? There's one that says that there was a man with the law in the fiery hand and a And who's that talking about?
What is the prophecy? What
Just
is this?
wait for a second.
Okay.
Can you give me the name of the book and the chapter, at least?
Okay, 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, go to the Revelation. Hussein, see, that's what this guy is all about. He is a article guy, and now he's searching his book of articles where he read these kind of things
It's
to.
Deuteronomy 33:2. I'm genuinely, Adam, I don't have any beef with you, brother.
Oh, brother,
I
you
hope
have it.
that
Come
we are, no,
on.
no, trust me.
This is the standard argument of every single Muslim. Don't you
If
think that
every
I'm
single
doing that for
Muslim
more?
was, if every single Muslim was like me, I don't think you would be in the way that you're talking right now. Because the way that you're talking, it makes it seem like you've been talking to some very hateful and distressful
No, I've
people.
been talking to the very good Muslims who follow Muhammad, and they want to kill me, abuse me, run porn on my channel, and that is why your
I
image
don't
is
think
not
those
even
are
being
good.
shown.
I don't
They
think those
are
are
they
good
are
Muslims.
they are accusing me to be killed. They are saying that they'll slice my
Don't
neck
think
with
they're
their
good Muslims.
hands. By the way, they are muftis, and they are
But
muftis, and
brother
there are
Adam,
degrees of being muftis. Do you want me
but
to
brother
show it to
Adam,
you? I can show it to you.
have I no have I even at any point in time in this conversation? And I
Because in
think
this
brotherhood is
conversation, yeah, I'll tell you, because Quran and Muhammad said the war is deception, and there are three types of war. One of the war is war by the tongue, and then we know, and they actually told me as well, that there is a sweet knife and there is a sharp knife. So a sweet knife will
so
try
there's
to
no
cut
way to
you
have a
with
conversation.
sweetness. No, we are having a conversation, but
So then why are you
you
making me
then,
seem like somebody who's evil? I don't
because
understand.
you are guilty unless proven otherwise, because I have seen
So how do
Islam
I
from
prove
my own book.
myself? Okay,
Yeah.
but then
You know
if
what?
I'm coming to you as a lost, let's say I'm coming to
No,
you
you are not
as a
lost.
person.
You're not.
No,
No,
you
You're
are
no.
not
not lost.
doing that. You're not doing
Let's say
that.
I'm
You know.
coming to you as a no.
You are not doing this. You are giving. You are not doing this. You are not here to learn. You are not here
Your
to. You
dawah.
are giving me arguments and dawa, and that is what you have been doing from the last 2
How
hours
did I give you
about
dawah? I
Aisha.
barely knew any of
Oh,
the
brother,
Sahih
see,
Bukhari.
this is what I'm. This is what happens every day. Yes, Hussein, you were saying something.
I just wanted to say that, first of all, thanks for talking respectfully. But I want to say one thing about you, that you're a little bit deceptive. Okay, you say some things, and you say them as their fact. Rebecca
But how
was
do you want somebody to
wait a
defend
second,
their religion?
Rebecca was 3 years old. Okay, and then when we offer you $200,000 to show us where the Bible says it, it's like, oh, it was a question. It was a question. No, you said
Was
Rebecca
this
was 3 years old,
was
and
this
then when
not
we offer you
recorded,
$200,000 to show it, you say, no, it was a question, and you did this several times, and you're very smooth. You're very
Brother
smooth.
Hussein?
You're very smooth, but don't keep pretending like I'm just here to have a conversation. That's not
Brother
true. You're
Hussein,
here to
this
do
this
da'wah.
conversation is
You're
recorded.
here
This
to do
conversation is
da'wah.
recorded.
You're here to do da'wah, and that's
Brother
okay.
Hussein,
That's okay. We're
I
trying to
literally
evangelize
said
you.
I'm happy to come
But
back.
quit
Brother
trying
Hussein,
to
this
do
conversation is
all
recorded.
opposites, and we're the bad guys, and you're the nice little guy who just
Nobody's the bad guy, but
conversation.
I'm
No,
just
you're not.
saying
No, you're not.
every
Suleiman,
time,
Let me tell you something. Hussein is speaking, and you are overshadowing him. Why?
you know why? If I'm honest, because at this moment in time, you have put a stamp on me, and I've been trying this whole conversation.
No,
When
you
it's my
haven't.
turn to speak,
There are over 500 people listening. So when he was, you asked him something, he is telling you, and then you are overshadowing him. You spoke over him at least 3 times. Why? Then you
I'm trying to
want us
defend
to
my
listen
honor.
to you. So let him finish first, then defend. In the middle,
But
your voice is higher than his, so you are overshadowing him. Nobody can hear what he's saying.
Yeah,
And then
just saying.
when I call you out, then you are finally quiet. Hussein, please finish your statement and let him say something.
Okay, no, just saying that, he keeps saying, I'm just here to have a conversation. He must have said that 300 times while he's been here. The truth of the matter is, you're not just here to have a conversation. You're not just you came here with your attack verses, your strong attack verses about and you are very knowledgeable. You know that Aisha was 6 years old. You know that Muhammad married her and had sex with her when she was 9. You know these things already, and you were prepared to give us about what they did in London, what they did in America, because you're trying to avoid the subject, and I'm disappointed with that, because I was kind of happy at first, because I thought, I'm glad that it bothers you that your prophet married and had sex with a 9-year-old girl. I was happy that you were upset and you were trying to defend against that. But then when you came up with all this in London and in 200 years ago, and then the presentism and all this baloney, I realized, no, you've done this. You know that he married a 6-year-old girl. You know he had sex with her. You know that he was having a bath with her in the same tub with the water so he could play with her when she's a little 7, 8-year-old girl who was so terrified her hair fell. You knew all that, and you're okay with it. And so I'm disappointed. I was happy at first. I thought, oh, he's angry that Muhammad did that. He's trying to prove that it didn't happen. But you're not angry. You're fine with it. And so,
Can I speak?
Yeah, speak.
I again, thank you for having me. I don't know how you would want to have a conversation with somebody who is in their religion. I don't know how you, Brother Adam, you left your religion. You said you became a Christian. I don't know how it happened for you. Okay. I don't know how you would want somebody to speak, but everybody speaks on their own accord. Me knowing something doesn't mean I have an agenda. I don't follow your channel. I was literally, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm sitting in my living room. I was scrolling through lives. I don't follow you. I was just scrolling through random lives and I saw your channel. That's it. And I came, and it's a discussion. Yeah, that's why I said this is recorded. You can go and check what I said about Rebecca. I asked, wasn't Rebecca 3? I asked, it's a question. But if I'm going to be vilified, I don't feel like that's productive. Have a conversation. If I seem argumentative, of course, I'm trying to defend my religion and you're trying to vilify my religion. I'm going to get defensive. That's obvious. But at least let's be respectful and have the conversation. That's my argument.
When was I ever disrespectful?
But you just put me on the spot now by saying I'm a liar, Brother Adam,
Yes, you
and
lied
Brother
3
Hussein.
times.
Okay,
You
so
lied
that's what I'm
3
trying to
times.
say.
So you lied 3 times.
But you saying I'm a liar means that I
So
had
let
an
me tell
intention
you,
of
Suleiman.
lying.
Suleiman, let me tell you
That's
something. Yes, you
my.
had.
That's not my
Yes, you had.
intention.
Yes, you had. So basically,
Oh my
Suleiman,
God.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something very clearly. You claimed that you read the
I didn't
Gospel
make
of
any
Matthew,
claims. I just brought
brother.
things up.
Yeah,
I just asked
I
a
know, I
question.
know, I know, I know, I know. Don't worry, relax, take a chill. Everybody asks question, okay? I have asked question as well.
Uh,
So, brother, listen to me very carefully, my friend. We know these arguments from every single Muslim that ever come up to us. This is not the first time. Let me just tell you something. This is not the first time. I am running this channel from the last, 4 years approximately, give or take. These are the same arguments of the Dawa gangist ever. They never change. The arguments never change. And then you claim that you have studied Matthew. The person who has studied Matthew cannot give me this verse ever unless he is
did I
taking
say
out
I
of the.
studied Matthew or I read
Yes,
it?
you said studied, read. So when you read, you
Ah,
don't even study. Sorry, my bad.
I
Let
said
me correct. Study and read are different. What's the difference
yes.
between studying and reading?
Studying it. That means I'm looking at it like it's an exam the next day. If I read it, that means I read it. I read through it and I finished it and I was done. Studying it is
So
completely different than reading it.
let me do something. Let me do something right now, and you might be amazed on that. But this is what every single person is doing right now.
Why? I don't understand.
There is a deception of the words that now you are playing, and the deception of the words is studying is when you are going to give an exam. Like nobody will ever say such a thing that studying is only done when you are giving an exam. You are coming here asking.
Brother Adam. Brother Adam, have you read the Bible? Have you read the Quran?
Yes,
Have
I've
you
read the
read the
Quran.
Quran? Okay.
Yes,
Have
I've
you
read the
studied
Quran.
the Quran?
Yes,
It's
I have
aren't those
studied the
two
Quran because
different things?
reading means studying.
No, if I read the Quran, I
Did I
can read it in
ask
the
you the
Arabic
tafsir of the
language.
Matthew? Did I ask you the tafsir of the Matthew? Did I ask you the exegesis of the Matthew? No, I did
But
not.
if you read the Quran one time, you're not gonna completely claim it, and you're not gonna completely grasp every
Then
single thing.
why
That's why
don't
they
you
tell
go?
you to continue to read it. So that's
Then
why I
why?
said I'm here to have a conversation. Why are
Wrong,
you
wrong example.
vilifying
Wrong
me?
example. Wrong example. You claim to be an ex-Christian, and that's what you claimed again.
What? I didn't say I
Said
was
that
an
I was a
ex-Christian.
Christian in. You did not said you come from a Christian
I
background.
said I have Christians in my family. So therefore this conversation comes up. And I said clearly
That's
my
not what
two
you said.
aunts are
That's
Christian.
not
This
what
is
you
not what
said.
you
Guys,
said. All right, Suleiman,
I
listen to
said,
me very carefully. I'm done with you. Okay, because this conversation is going nowhere now. Okay, this is
I
now
was
an
gonna say
accusation
I
after an
found the
accusation.
verse, it's Deuteronomy 22, but fine. I don't know, man.
All
If
right.
it's whatever you
So
guys
this
wanna do.
conversation is not going anywhere because the whole idea right now is that every time you will say something and we will answer you, you will actually come up with say, this is this and this is that. Okay.
But
Now,
that's
this
the
is
point
this
of
and this is that is something that we can never finish because every time you will say, this is this and this is that. Previously, you only read two gospels. Now you even read Deuteronomy. So, like I said before, you are a liar, my friend. You have never read the
jeez,
Bible.
man.
Previous, you said you only read Matthew and Luke. Now you read the Deuteronomy. You are taking verses out of context from the articles or from your Muslim
Brother
Dawa Genghis.
Hussein,
I no, brother Hussein. Now you go. There you go. This is how ignorant liar, not ignorant. Sorry, my bad. Let me correct. This is the most deceptive, lying person that I have ever dealt with in the last 4 years. That is the medal that I'm going to give this Suleiman. This is
You
the
know,
medal that I'm going to give this Suleiman.
that's the big thing is the deceptiveness. This guy he's been doing this. You know what? It sounded to me like Ala ad-Din. It sounded like the voice of Ala ad-Din, and with the his voice sounded a little bit like him. But that deceptiveness, it's very much like reminds me also of Nadir Ahmed. Nadir Ahmed is the same way. They're just super slimy. They know how to go in and out and twist and then look like the victim and say, calm down. We're just trying to talk. We're just trying to talk. And it's just like, they're not. And they have all the attack verses. Every attack verse. Rebecca's.
And Hussein, I don't care if you attack, but don't try to be a victim.
Yeah.
You want to
Well,
attack?
that's the thing.
Attack.
That's
Yeah.
the deceptiveness of it. It's like, I'm just trying to have a conversation. It's just like, no, you're not. Be honest. You're here to
Be honest that you're here to debate. And perfect, debate me. And I
at
have
least
no
be
issues.
honest. Yeah. If you're honest, you can talk to someone if they're genuine, but when they're trying to pretend there's something they're not, it's so obvious that he's doing that,
Brother, because Muhammad said lie. And
Yeah.
one of Muhammad said you can actually have jihad by three things. Jihad bil lisan, jihad bil shamshir, or by hand by yadayya, and jihad bil lisan, and jihad bil kal, right? Three. So he cannot have bullets or sword attacking us. So he is doing jihad bil lisan. And one of the basic concept of jihad bil lisan is that you can lie. And I've shown that many times in the past as well. And that is why I caught him on the first lie, on the second lie, on the third lie. And then, oh no, I'm mostly asking questions. He is a lying, just like Muhammad claimed it to be. Let me show you how lying is in Islam, by the way. Yes, brother, you say something.
No, I just was saying, it was good that you didn't let him get away when he was doing that victim thing. It's like, I'm just trying to have a conversation. I'm just trying to talk. I'm an ignorant. I need to learn about, and
Brother, I received so many of these people in Pakistan. That's why. I get
Wow.
so many of these in Pakistan and India. That's how easy it is to recognize them. I deal with
Yeah.
them every other day. So check this out. This is what lying is all about. Let me show you something. This is very beautiful. I have done this stream in the past already. But like check the type of lyings. Takayya, forget takayya. People say, oh, only when you have a sword on your head. Let's talk about kitman. Deceit by silence or omission. Lying by omission. An example is 532. That omit half of the verse. Tauriya, deceit by ambiguity. Lying by omission. These are the type of lyings that it is mentioned in Islam and Quran and Hadith. Tisir, deceit through felicitation, not having to observe all the tenets of Sharia. So you lie and not do all the Sharia commandment. Darura, deceit through the necessity to engage in something haram or forbidden. So he will do haram, saying, oh, I have studied the Bible.
Yes.
Maruna, blending in the temporary suspension of the Sharia in order for the Muslim to immigrate and appear moderate. Hayal comes from the word hila, which is contortion, contradiction, deceive, sabotage, legalistic trickery in Islamic jurisprudence. It allows the breaking of oaths, promises, contracts under the Sharia doctrine. Like, how much more do I have to show you, my friends? Let's check this out. Herbal. So there is another thing which is harb means war, and in the war you can do these things, and one of the militant is hayal. It says atbul dajjal in the theology and the law, a method of debating in which were discussed questions that were controversial. It was not a matter of finding the truth, but or convincing the opponent of the greatest possible possibility which one believes to have found. So this is exactly what he was doing. He was following the tenet of Adabul Dajjal, means ask in such a deceptive way.
Yeah.
And I am not here to get the truth. I am just here to prove that, I am right and I want to win the argument. He
Right.
was doing Adabul Dajjal.
Yeah.
Brother, it's right here. I teach these things. And he's like, I teach these things. What he was doing, I'm a teacher, boy. I teach these things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing, man. And he had the the amazing is that they I mean, I've seen so many like this, but this whole thing, who also reminds me of is Shabir Ali. He's got that, it's very, it's very simple, and we're really trying to understand, and we really want, and he's got that smoothness. It's a snake. It's like a serpent. It's a deceptive thing, and they constantly trying to prove, that they were trying to learn. They want to, but they keep on dropping those little poison pills. They keep on dropping those poison pills, attacking the Bible, attacking the Word of God. So it's the same.
And brother, let me just add something. I don't mind person attacking on the Bible. I don't mind that. But if you're attacking, don't claim that you are not attacking. Don't lie. Attack.
You're trying to learn.
Yeah. Don't say you're trying to learn. You're not trying to learn.
Yes.
You're attacking the Bible. Perfect. Come. Yeah. I'll answer. I'm here.
Yeah.
If I can attack your faith, perfect. You can attack mine.
Yeah.
But don't deceive. Don't deceive that you are not attacking. You are attacking.
Yeah.
All sport expert. Mister, you are supposed to come up live because you put a claim on my channel and I gave you an answer and I told you exactly what you were supposed to say. And I said, can you walk the talk? You said something, can you walk the talk? Now, can you walk the talk? You claimed something on my channel. You said, without updates, the Bible dies. This is your comment, all support expert. And I sent you a reply right there. You said, you want to go live right now and prove your statement. Let's see if you can walk the talk. Let's see, Mr. All Support Expert. Let's see if you are a good sport and you can prove your statement that you put under one of my video.
I think he's scared.
Hey, Mr. Scared. Hey, Mr. Scared. I am asking you to prove your point with come up. Don't let anybody debate about Christianity. You stupid idiot demonic being. I am asking you to come up and prove your point. You stupid demonic being.
I don't think he really believes what he's saying, you know, or else, you know.
Okay. Yeah,
I think he doesn't really believe, or Fatima. I don't think they really believe what they're saying. You know, they're just.
Oh, forget Fatma. She's just a troll. I don't know why my people are not giving her super. Let me take some super chats, brother, and then I need to take the super chats as well. We are 2 hours 54 minutes live. Yogi Sahab, thank you, Yogi Sahab, for your super sticker. Appreciate it. Black Pink Sahab, thank you so very much for your super sticker, and then you gave another super sticker. Thank you so very much, Black Pink Sahab. And Farooq Joel, appreciate it, brother, for your super sticker. Thanks a lot. My system is too slow right now. I don't know what's happening. And Crusader said, please accept my jizya for the stream. Thank you, Mr. Crusader. Appreciate it. Thanks for your jizya. And we have Illa Pilla. Do mullahs know children cannot consent? No, brother. Mullahs knows children cannot consent. That's the whole idea. And that's why child marriage is halal. Illa Pilla said, no civilization was consummating 9 years old girl. This is another lie. All civilizations were against raping kids. No one celebrated anyone doing this. Absolutely, I would agree with you, my friend. And that's what I told him. Our brother Hussein is very soft at certain times, and I know he's a soft-hearted person. Blackpink, thank you so very much. And Blackpink, another thank you so very much. And then another Blackpink, thank you so very much. There is a question from Patel that I starred. Let me click that. And he said, what is the channel of Hussein? No, that was different. तू क्या चाहता है हम business छोड़ दें? नहीं भाई, I don't. Patel भाई, please do your business. I'm so sorry. I saw that chat and I put it there and I was like, I need to read that. No, brother, I do not want you to leave your job. Your job is very important. So please do your job and not listen to my stream right now. You can listen to it later. And I know you love me and I know you want to listen to me, but job comes first, my friend. Lorito Tube, thank you for your super sticker. By the way, I shared the channel of our brother Hussein Mashni a couple of times in the chat already. So please subscribe to brother Hussein Mashni's channel.
Hey, could do you mind? I'd like to also tell them about my books.
Yes, you will. Just give me 1 second. I'm not ending the stream yet. I have a few super chats to take, brother.
Okay.
And Black said people born before 1963 have their birth certificates as Egyptian or Jordanians, depending where they are from. And now all of a sudden they are Palestinian. Blackpink knows about that area as well, my friend. And Pink Panther again said, there is no such place called Palestine. Period to 1963. Gaza was Egypt and the West Bank was Jordan. These are hard facts. This is history. Ignorant. Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. And that's why I said so-called Palestine. Blackpink, thanks a lot. And Blackpink, again, thanks a lot. And then Yogi, again, thanks a lot. Yogi gave us a two-time super sticker. Appreciated, Yogi. Thanks a lot. And this was a very nice comment I read. Brother Hussain, we talked about lady who was an idol worshipper throwing garbage on Muhammad in India, Pakistan. Yeah. In Palestine, there is a Jewish guy who throws garbage on Muhammad. Fisherman said, if it is in the West, it will be LGBTQ group who's throwing garbage on Muhammad.
Exactly. You know what? It's like in the U.S., the people are falling for this, man, and they get away with it.
Absolutely. Shukla ji said, good morning, Adam. Good morning to you, Shukla ji. Thanks a lot. Blackpink, another time. Thank you so very much. And then Hazari Prasad. Thank you, Hazari Prasad ji. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And then we have Sam, a brother from another mother. May God bless you and yours family. Thank you so very much. God bless you and your family as well, my friend. And then we have our brother Chima ji from Canada. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. and we have Cheeky. His name is Cheeky. What's his last name? I can't
Shaky,
even read right now.
shaky.
Cheeky Shaky. God bless you, Adam Seeker and Steve, for all your work. Love you from Australia. Thank you, brother Cheeky Shaky. Appreciate it. And then we have Blackpink sub another time. Appreciate it. And then we have Nix. And Nick said, what did he say? Good morning, Lalaji. Salam al Masih. Good morning to you as well. Salam al Masih, brother. And then Voyager gave us a super sticker just right now. This is his 5th super on the live stream. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And yes, brother Hussein, you have books as well.
Yeah, you know, I got them in the chat, in the, you know, like some of the
Private chat?
stores. Yeah, some of in the private chat. You know, I
All
don't
right.
know how to.
I am going to share that with everyone. Brothers, this is Steve Hussein Mashni's books. This is one book. And then this is another book that you can buy from Amazon if anybody wants to buy it and read Hussein Mashni's journey and Hussein Mashni's findings about Mahdi, Imam Mahdi and Magog, or about his journey, how he left Islam and accepted Christ. These are
Yeah.
the 2 books that he has written already. They are here in the live chat. And if you want to subscribe to his channel, I will share his channel one more time. I've already shared it 3-4 times in the past.
Thank you.
There you go, his channel. This is
Yes.
Steve Hussein Mashni's channel. Please subscribe to his channel. And if anybody would like to buy the books and read the books are there. The links are there. It's on Amazon. So you can definitely buy them and learn from them. So,
Thank you.
Brother Hussein, would you like to add something before I go back to Sabeel Ahmed? Sabeel Ahmed, very important. I need to end on Sabeel Ahmed again.
No, it was very. I'm glad that that guy came in. You know, and you know, we're always the priority is always to have them. You know, to speak to the Muslims, and so even though sometimes you're talking to them, but you're not really talking to them because they're not listening. But there's other people who are listening, and so, you know, so I was happy about that we were able to. And could I show one little video? It's a very short video.
Oh yes, is it yours?
Yeah, it's my video.
All right. In the meantime, while you pick it up, I will read one more
Okay.
super chat that I came, and it says 50 caliber said, "शुक्र है तू अपनी side है Adam, वरना गान फट जाती भाई खुश रह तू may Lord Jesus bless you with happiness and courage to fight these mullahs." Thank you so very much, 50 cal, and God is with you guys. God is with us, and we shouldn't be worried. It's not me. He picks up his right soldiers at the right time. Love your enemies said, great stream, Adam brother. Thank you so very much. Love your enemies. God bless you, and thanks and appreciate for liking it, brother. Let me know when I will show your screen. So once you find the
Okay.
video, let me know and I
Okay.
will show your screen. I'm not showing it right now.
Okay. I just want to show you guys some of the stuff that happens down here in Southern California, and
you have been attacked in California. Do you still have that uploaded somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been like almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, there's okay, there's this video right here. It's very short.
Let me show.
Okay. Okay, it's a
All right.
TikTok video.
Nobody
so-
can hear us. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Man, you will give me a strike, man. This is a song. YouTube will give me a strike. Come on, man. Give me the other one. YouTube will give me a copyright. YouTube is very bad with me, very mean with me.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's a song. It's a song. It's a copyrighted song.
Okay, sorry about that. So
Show me something else which does not have a copyrighted song. You put a song in it.
oh, but it's I think it's allowed in TikTok.
Yeah, it's allowed in TikTok. It's allowed in YouTube Shorts and TikTok, but not in a live stream.
Okay, so you weren't able to show that one?
If it is mute and you wanted to show something, yes, I can. Just put it on mute and I will
Okay, I got
show.
it on mute. I got it on mute.
Let me
here.
show you. All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, let me do this.
Oh my God, he spit it on you.
Okay. All right.
He just spit it
Can
on
see
you.
that?
Yeah. My God.
Did you see that?
Yes, I saw it. So they are spitting on you, on your face, just because you are having a talk with them. What did you tell him to make him
Uh,
spit on your face?
well, I was standing there with the cross, and he told me, he said, go across the street, take the cross across the street. And I said, no, I'm allowed to be here. He said, no, I need you to go across the street. I said, no, the police came and told me I could stay here. And he said, no, I need you to go across the street. I mean, I don't know what, it was like a vampire. He couldn't handle the cross, man, and then so he did what he did there. So anyway, that's
Wow. You have Heaven's Gate saying hi from Irvine Hussein. I don't know what Irvine is.
Irvine is a city that I used to live in a long time ago.
Okay. You have a hi from Irvine. So somebody probably knows you. And the morning says, look after yourself as well. Adam Bhai, God bless you. God bless you. Morning, appreciate it. I'm here and I am always here. That's what it is. So we got to do this work, and I want everyone to do this work. There are multiple issues in the world, and the West is going down the drain, and I don't want the West to go down the drain. I've lived in a country where we had gone down the drain. I lived a life where we as a Muslim were in power, and I know what we as a Muslim can do when we are in power. I have seen it first-handedly. I've seen the atrocities first-handedly. I have seen the persecution of the Christians and the Hindus and the Sikhs, because these are the three most dominant minorities there first-handedly. I don't want the West to go that route. The seculars of the West do not understand what the majority, when the Islam comes in majority, which is not 70%, not 80%, not even 50%, which is just 30% plus, 33%, 30% plus, can do to this country. You gotta learn from the mistakes of the history. It's up to you. By the time they will reach that percentage, I might not even be alive, but my children will be. Your children will be here. Do you want to do a comparison between Jesus and Muhammad? You'll be a fool to even start this comparison. You'll be a fool to even start the comparison. There's no comparison. There's no contrast even. You can't even do that. Think about it. Think about it. And your children, whom are deceived by Sabeel Ahmed type of people, you want your children to be deceived by Sabeel Ahmed type of people? Let's assume for the sake of argument that you want your children to accept whatever they want to accept when they grow up. Perfect. I'm with you. But at least tell them what is the Bible, what is written in the Bible. So Sabeel Ahmed type of people and Salman type of people will not come to them and deceive them with the buttery knife, sweet knife. Like you have seen Salman. I'm just asking question.
I just want a
So if
conversation.
just having a conversation, if I would not know what is written, he would just deceive me. He lied about Quran, he lied about history, he lied about hadith, and then he lied about the Bible, and then he lied about his previous belief. First he said he was born in a Christian family. Then he said, no, I was never an ex-Christian. I have some family member who are Christians. So you see the way he portrays his words in a very deceptive manner. for you to perceive, and this is the basic reality of how Dawa Gengist do their work. He was a clever Dawa Gengist, and because I tagged Sabeel Ahmed, I believe Sabeel Ahmed sent one of his, babies here, or maybe it was Sabeel Ahmed himself, with the name Suleiman. One of the two, because I have tagged him. He know that I am doing this stream in his name, and this guy was here. He might be Sabeel himself. He might be one of his followers trying to deceive here. These are bunch of liars. And this is what the reality of this cult is. When I said, he very promptly ignored my first statement, and he kept on ignoring that you will not find any human being worse than Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He ignored this statement 3 times. Why? Like, if somebody claims that you will not find anybody worse than Jesus Christ, I'll say, okay, let's go, let's do it. Let's do this first. How dare you say this? Let's prove this. Let me prove me that Christ was a bad person. That would be my first question. I will not go to the second point that, oh, you can kill or do this or do that. I won't even go anywhere else. But you know what he did? He very conveniently ignored the most important statement that I did at least 3 times. This is one of Sabeel Ahmed's Dawa Gengist. And I bet you on that. This is how they will deceive your children. This is how they will deceive your friends. This is how they deceive you. That's the reality. Learn. Literally speaking, I don't have to do these things. Brother Hussein, do I get an extra marks in the heaven if I make one Muslim ex-Muslim? Do I?
It depends what night you do it. If you do it when there's a full moon, then you get no. I'm just kidding, of course.
Okay, and let's say if I make one Muslim Christian, do I get an extra point in the heaven?
No.
So I will never get a single point in heaven for converting a Muslim into an ex-Muslim or a Muslim into Christian. Not a single point. So if I'm doing all of this, quite frankly, I do not have a single gain for afterlife. I'm not doing it for afterlife.
Jesus took care of that. So.
Exactly. He died for me. It's done. It's finito. It happened. My debt is paid. What do I have to do? Follow him. Be a nice person. Be a good person. Love my neighbors. Follow the will of his will, because I am his follower. I'm a Christian. So, follower of Christ. Why am I doing this? Because Jesus also said, love your neighbor as you love thyself. And then it says that the whole commandment is encapsulated in this command, love your neighbor as you love thyself. What does that mean? If I love you, I have to tell you what is good and what is bad. And if I am loving you, I have to tell you that you are being deceived. Save yourself, save your kids, save your family. That's all what I'm doing. I love you all because Jesus loved you first. Brother Hussein, last words.
The one time, because I've been doing these live streams, about the same amount of time that you have been, and I started doing them, and at first I got so much opposition from my Muslim family members, and I mean it was It was terrible, man. They were telling me stuff like nobody's going to marry our kids. No one's going to, they're going to, because of you, because of me, because they're going to say, oh, you're related to the kafir, so no one's going to marry their kids and stuff. And there, I mean, it was terrible. I felt so bad. At one point, I thought, you know what? I'm going to quit doing these live streams and stuff. I'm going to stop doing these programs. And then I went to sleep. Took a little nap. And when I took a nap, I heard a voice inside of me. And it was a voice that was crying. And the voice said, I have to keep talking. I have to keep talking. Because Satan doesn't shut up. He keeps on lying to people. We have to keep telling the truth. For the sake, and right now in America, when we see what's going on, I really think Islam is going to be the next big thing here in America because of this situation with Gaza and Israel. Everybody's on the side of Gaza right now. And, and I'm not against being pro-Gaza. I live there. I love Gaza. Okay. But I have a problem that there's an Islamic element to this. It's not just political, it's religious. And people are falling for it. The media has fallen. And so we need to keep talking. We need to keep talking while there's time. Jesus said, work while it's day, because the night comes when no one can work. So it's still daytime. We can still work. So.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. We have two people in the backstage. Anyone of you are a Muslim, let me know. Otherwise, I'll take both of you for 2 minutes statement of yours before we end the stream. The morning said we have Espos. You might be saying especially pray and fasting keep you safe. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. I think I can't even pronounce that word if the spellings are right. But thank you, morning. Mithranjay said, where is my birthday gift, Adam? Oh my God, Mithranjay has a birthday. All right, brother Hussein, we have to sing birthday wish for him. I used to sing it with Sahil, but Sahil is not here, so you gotta do that for our friend Mithranjay here.
In Arabic, okay?
Perfect. Go for it.
سنة حلوة مع يسوع سنة حلوة مع يسوع سنة حلوة سنة حلوة سنة حلوة مع يسوع. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Mr. Injay, man, seriously, I could not have given you a better birthday wish than Steve Hussein Mashni. Man, thank you, Steve. Love you for that. And then we have the morning. We must keep share on the stream, all media. Thank you, morning. Appreciate it. God bless you. Please share as much as you can. And then morning, once again, said on, what is that? Tweet?
4 Muslim pedophiles caught in the UK.
Oh my God. That is such a standard operating procedure right now. We have Leo who said, yesterday debate was a complete shame for both sides, complete waste of time. Leo, not really. They won. You lost. Literally. You need to know the reality. One of the very few things that I learned in the early stage of debating and all, when I was watching Ahmed Didat and Zakir Nalaik, when you are fighting an enemy where you know that they can destroy and obliterate you, go in first and use a speed of 120 kilometers per hour, and in the first 20 minutes open at least 50 arguments which the other person cannot answer in his 20 minutes rebuttal. That's exactly what happened to you. You guys were destroyed. You guys were obliterated. No matter how you take it, they won. Because you did not know how to debate this idiot. Your person was not ready. Your person was not trained enough. He was stupid. He went in without having all the things and how to handle these kind of situations. He had no idea what's coming at him. He was hit with a bomb and he had no idea how to shield it. And that's the reality. And Leo said, I accept you're right. Thank you so very much, sir. And then, and I'm sorry, Leo. That's what it is. Richa Mishra said, it's my birthday too. Oh, brother Hussein.
Oh
It's
my
our
goodness.
sister Richa Mishra's birthday as well. One more time.
Okay, I'm only going to do Arabic this time. Okay.
No, you have to do both because she can't understand Arabic.
سنة حلوة مع يسوع سنة حلوة مع يسوع سنة حلوة سنة حلوة سنة حلوة مع يسوع. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Yay! Happy birthday, Richa Mishra. God bless you and have a blessed time. And we are at the end of our stream. We have a few brothers wanted to say something. Interstellar.
जी भाई तू लोगों के नाम पे तो पैसे
All right, this is my English stream, brother. Join my Urdu stream for Urdu talking. Christ's child.
Hello, Adam Bye.
Yes, brother. What would you
Yeah,
like to
just
say,
want
brother?
to say hi. Yeah, just want to say hi, man. Like, I love your work and everything, and you know, all the way from Australia, man. Like, I'm from Pakistan, you know, but I've been following your work for about 6 months, and I haven't been able to get a chance to talk to you because you don't do non-Muslim streams. This is the first time I heard you say, if anyone want to say 2 minutes, so I just came to say hi, man, and just want to say
Thank
love
you, brother. God bless you. And I do non-Muslim stream once a month, but you know, there's always such a long queue over there. Like I think 1,000 people are in the queue. So it's really
Yeah.
hard to do a non-Muslim stream because you know, 1,000 people, I can't even talk to 1,000 people in like 4 or 5 hours. And I usually have to end it in 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours in non-Muslim stream. So thank you so very much for your love, brother. God bless you and have a blessed time.
You too, brother. God bless you. God bless you.
Take care. And Richa Mishra said, thank you so very much, brothers. Thank you so very much, Richa Mishra. Appreciate it. And Heaven's Gate said, I just realized it's my birthday too. Heaven's Gate, come on. You now that is deception. That is hayal. Okay. That is hayal. Now you are using hila and hayal. You can't do that, Heaven's Gate. No, that won't work. That won't work. Mitranjay said, man, birthday wish in Arabic? Never expected that. Thank you, Aram Bhai and Hussein, brother. One of the best gift I have received. Thank you, Mitranjay Bhai. Appreciate it. Brother Hussein, do you know Mitranjay sang a song for me?
Oh, really?
The English translation is yet to come, and we are
Okay.
working on the English translation of this song. But it is in Urdu/Hindi. Would you like to listen to it?
Yes.
But you know, I'm sorry it is in Urdu. But I'm gonna play it today, and then I will end my stream today on this one.
Okay.
It is in Urdu, Hindi, and a lot of people might not comprehend it fully, but you can watch the movie that was made on this song. This Mutranjay brothers of ours is a good singer, and I'm translating it as well. So I'm going to end the stream after the song. So before I go, you know what I say? Takbir! Al-Masihu Akbarul Azim!
ये जो फौज चल रही है मेरे पीछे ही पीछे ये जो नींव हिल रही है तेरे नाक के नीचे, ये जो खौफ पनप रहा है तेरे ही दिल में, ये ईमान क्यों डगमगाया भरी महफिल में। एक सैलाब की आहट है या रही, ये आंधी है ताकत जुटा रही, इस तहरीक का मैं एक हूँ रही, नई तारीख मैं लिखने चला। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, मैं ही तेरा बाप हूँ। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, तेरा अभिशाप हूँ। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, लेता तेरा नाप हूँ। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, तेरा ही तो बाप हूँ। मैं हूँ, मैं हूँ, मैं तेरा ही तो बाप हूँ। मैं
इधर उधर क्यों भागे, सच बताने में लाज क्यों लागे, सुनकर तेरे नबी की बातें कानों में से मेरे खून क्यों आते। बनकर ये जलेबी बनाना, सीधा सीधा मुझे ये तो बताना, कुछ सवाल है मेरे मन में, जवाब तू देके तो जाना। 6 साल की बच्ची ही क्यों तेरे नबी के दिल को भाए, बहू में बेटी नहीं लेकिन बीवी नजर आए। 30 मर्दों की ताकत मिली थी, उससे सिर्फ बिस्तर हिली थी, उमर ने जब सौदा को छेड़ा नबी अपने गोश्त चबाए। आलम का रहमत है जो काफिर पे कहर क्यों ढाए, ऐसी हरकत की हिटलर भी शर्मा जाए। और भी किस्सा है हिस्ट्री में, आ जाओ अगर सुनना होना, खुद रसूलुल्लाह कह गए कि पियो पियो पर ठन्ना होना। अरे 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 बात कहा है, अभी तो मैंने शुरू किया है, अभी से देख देख अगला तेरा अल्लाह मियां है। ये कैसा खुदा है तेरा, तुझको झूठ बोलना सिखाए, छोटी छोटी गलती में आजाब का डर भी दिखाए। चुपके से कात लगाना, हथियार तुम साथ ले आना, रास्ते में काफिर मिले तो वहीं पे उसका गर्दन उड़ाना। ये कैसा खुदा है तेरा, ऐसी नफरत जो सिखाए, हम उसको ना माने तो हम कधा कुत्ता नजस कहलाए। वो बीपी तू भी सुन ले, खुद का हक खुद से चुन ले, मत तुझ पे हाकिम नहीं तू अपने लिए किसी चार को चुन ले। आधा दिमाग आधा शहादा, आधी जायदाद का वादा, इस्लाम में नंगी हो तुम कपड़े जब ना पहनो ज्यादा, फिर भी दिफा करती हो मजबूरी ऐसी कैसी। आलम कुछ ऐसा है लाइक चिकन डिफेंसिंग KFC, गुमराह करे जो अल्लाह उस पे तेरा ईमान है, तेरे कुरान से साबित कर दूं तेरा अल्लाह ही शैतान है। तेरे चांद को चीर भी तू आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम। मैं आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम हूँ, आदम। दिल भी टूटा, गाँव भी छूटा, घर वालों का साथ भी छूटा, जिसको मैंने सच माना था वो सारा वहम था टूटा। राह में मैंने दीन को छोड़ा, ऐसे खुदा से नाता जो तोड़ा, दरियाए आंसू आंख से निकले, मैंने अपना वतन भी छोड़ा। जो गरूर मेरे सर पे चढ़ा था, आग में जल कर खाक हुआ था, ऐसे रसूल को सर पे चढ़ाया, शर्म से मेरे सर वो झुका था। आज मैं जो हूँ, आज मैं जो हूँ, तेरे लिए बस बदनसीब हूँ, टुकड़ा के अंधाई मान तेरा, मैं सच्चाई के करीब हूँ। हंसना लालच जन्नत का, दोज़ख का डर छोड़ दिया था, सर कलम का तूने फतवा चढ़ाया, कलम को मैंने हथियार बनाया।
हमारा क्या है, हम तो भाई आए हैं इस दुनिया में, फिर कभी ना कभी चले भी जाएंगे। बस कुछ हमारी बातें याद रह जाए लोगों को, कुछ लोगों का भला हो जाए, तो हम अमर ना हो गए, तो हम तो इसी में अमर हो जाएंगे कि लोगों को कुछ नफा पहुंच जाए, लोग कुछ फायदे में आ जाए, और क्या।
हुज्जतुल मुर्तदीन ताज मैंने पहना है, हुज्जतुल मुर्तदीन ताज मैंने पहना है, कफने मुर्तद ये मेरा गहना है। एक सलाब की आहट है या रही, ये आंधी है ताकत जुटा रही, इस तहरीक का मैं एक हूँ राही नई तारीख में लिखने चला आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम मैं आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम हूँ आदम ला इलाहा इल्ला आदम ज़ाहिर रसूल 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 आदम
बोल वही जो हक है टाइम कयामत तक है